Of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krimbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players. The attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
I know, Ed, I'm looking at you. Very good morning there. It's 3 minutes past 6. It's Wednesday, the 1st of April. Very good morning to one and all. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Joining me in the studio this morning is the one and only Tony Cascarino. Cass, how are you?
I'm great, Al. I'm, delighted to be called off the bench again. I was a bit of a super sub with Ireland and...
Well, it's no bother to you.
No,
I mean,
I got the call.
Do you just continually warm up during the night? Just in case?
I'm stretching all my groins. I'm doing my groins, getting ready. I wonder if I get the call. I get a call from Sim, who obviously is producing today, and it's got suspected scam under his name.
Hey, there's no suspected about it, mate.
No, delighted to be here, and obviously we're going to reflect on a good few things. I mean, some of the teams that got eliminated. I can't believe the Czech Republic beat Denmark.
Neither can I. I mean, the only thing I would say is
I haven't even mentioned Italy, but
I know where I was starting. We'll go into the
get
friendlies.
there.
We'll go into the friendlies in a minute. But I tell you what, mate, I couldn't believe that result. I mean, I looked. The Czech Republic had won or unbeaten in 7 or 8 before they played yourselves. But could not see them beating Denmark.
No.
And by the way, what about Italy?
Oh, that is the eighth wonder of the world. What are Italian football is happening into Italian football? We see it really being reflected in their own league, and they're not as strong. And then seeing them get knocked out, I just don't know. I don't know the answers. I don't see enough of them internationally, Ali. But what I would say is that this is, you know, for a nation with as a heartbeat of football in Europe, really is.
If somebody had said, you know, the Italians wouldn't qualify for 3 World Cups in a row, you'd have said that it's just absolutely unbelievable.
No.
Talking about the World Cup, okay, it's time for a bit of this. It's a bit lively first thing in the morning. Back in the studios in Killerby. Nick, good morning.
Morning, boys. Big news. Iraq have now qualified for World Cup 2026. It'll be their second appearance. They were at 86 in Mexico. They beat Bolivia 2-1 in that final World Cup qualifying playoff. Al-Hamadi and Hussein with the goals. Paniagua scored for Bolivia, but 2-1 Iraq win. They've got an Australian manager, Graham Arnold, who actually has had
Played against them.
Well, he's had a real job getting his squad to Mexico because they've had to basically escape this conflict that's been going on in the Middle East. There were concerns that the full Iraq squad wouldn't be able to get to Mexico, but they've got there and they've got to the World Cup.
Wow.
So we're going to see Iraq and Iran at the World Cup. Potentially Iran. We're still waiting on confirmation, but Gianni Infantino still saying that Iran should go.
Backs up what we're saying, Nick. Greatest respect. And the first thing you say is they deserve to be there. They're there in merit.
Yeah.
We've got Iran, we've got Iraq, and there's no Italy.
Well,
remarkable.
How do you answer that?
It's remarkable.
It's just, it makes you speechless, doesn't it? To think Italy have failed. And I'm sure that they would have, you know, they've obviously beat Northern Ireland to get to play Bosnia. But I'd love someone, an Italian expert, to explain how Italian football's got itself in such a state internationally.
It's unbelievable. Nick, the game's just finished, I think, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just finished over in Mexico. I don't know if you saw the Italy penalties last night. Absolutely.
I did.
I didn't.
Woeful.
Yeah.
But the atmosphere in Zenica in Bosnia, I mean, they had guys with flares in the high-rise buildings next to the stadium. I mean, they gave those Italians a tough night.
Okay, Nick, look, it's easy sitting here, right, taking penalties. Been there, Ali's done it as well. But when you see the Italian penalties, and 2 of them, one's blasted over the bar and one hits the bar.
Yeah.
You know, surely if you're going to go hard, keep it low. You've got to go low. You know, you're not playing rugby.
I know.
You're not blasting it as high as you can.
Well, we saw Brennan Johnson for Wales as well do a similar thing. But the one of the Bosnian players stuck his penalty in the top corner. It was absolutely perfect. So if it comes off, it's the best place to go.
Yeah, there's very few that can do that.
Absolutely.
Okay, in that moment. Would you, Al, be confident?
No, I used to just whip them back across myself.
Low and hard.
Yeah.
Low and hard was
whip them back across. You take the chance. If you lift it, it looks great. It goes in, but if it doesn't,
yeah.
Also, we're not going to see world-class keeper like Donnarumma. Still hasn't been to a World Cup, you know, and he's been in that Italy side for a long time.
Unbelievable.
Do you know what? Mad stuff comes out when things like this happen, and you then go, Donnarumma is not going to go to a World Cup, and Ali says that's the 3rd World Cup in a row they've missed. How mad!
And they've won a Euros in between.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's not as if they've had a bad team. They've won a Euros in between.
That's mad, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. I think it's remarkable. In the other game, I think we've got all our finalists now. Am I right in saying the DR of Congo beat Jamaica?
DR Congo, yeah. Beat
so my mate across the road, the hotel's ecstatic. Hey, Cass, my man, brilliant lad, young lad. I mean, he's just barely 20s.
Yeah.
That's where he's from. And he was watching the game last night. He was all excited. I'm thrilled.
That's fantastic.
So the last time DR Congo were in the World Cup, 1974, the country was called Zaire.
That's right.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Great clip of the.
They were in our group.
Well, it's the clip of that famous clip of the guy running out to try and block the free kick, and doesn't seem like he understands the rules.
Tell me, Ali, did they have some sort of song as well at that time, Zaire? Did I come somewhere remember? Am I wrong? Is it?
Well, you might be right. Did that one go in Zaire? No, have I made that up? No.
It was something, I don't know.
Before my time.
Yeah. We're going back, we're showing our
I think we beat them 2-0, and I think Peter Lorimer and I think Dennis Law scored. There you are. I might be wrong, but I'm going to go with that.
2 average players there, weren't there?
Well, Newcastle's Johan Wissa and also Sunderland's Noah Siddiqui play for DR Congo, so we should see them in the States, Mexico and Canada this summer.
Right. Excellent. But just,
great stuff, Nick.
Just to reiterate, no Italy and no Denmark. Thanks, Nick. Thank you, mate. Well, it says here, the road to the World Cup was all set last night. The Czech, Sweden, York, Chris.
Yeah.
I'm pleased for him.
I am.
Do you know something, Cass? I am pleased for him.
Well, look, we're a bit biased because we were forwards,
Yes.
Yeah? And I was a sort of lead the line and you was a poacher. But I actually think he's given Arsenal a different dimension.
So do I, mate.
That's it.
You know, I think he gets a little bit of unfair, unjustified stick because he's perhaps not that easy on the eye.
Yeah.
I think, you know what I'm talking about.
I got a lot of stick for that. I'm easy. I'm uneasy on both eyes.
Most of it with a certain degree of justification, I may add. But in all seriousness, I think if you're playing against him, you know you're in a game. Do you know what I mean? He works your back line.
Yeah.
His goal scoring return has been good.
Yeah.
It's been more than acceptable.
Yeah.
You know, but
we're in a world where everyone's looking for the perfect player, aren't we? You know, he's not Marco van Basten.
Correct.
Okay, he's a quality forward that leads the line that gives Arsenal other options plus his country.
100%, mate.
That's how I see it.
I'm with you. I'm totally...
England could do with one of them. I've said you off air. You know, I know we're going to go on to England anyway, but I'm looking at England. I'm thinking they look the most dangerous when they go direct, but they haven't got a Mark Haitley.
He only looked dangerous when they brought Harry Maguire on.
Yeah, and Dan Burn.
Yeah, and Dan Burn, Big Dan.
Yeah, big Dan Burn.
I mean, they're putting crosses into the box, they're attacking it. Yeah. Keepers are a couple of good saves, they're a little bit unlucky. I mean...
Now, England do miss a really good aerial threat. And look, Harry, there's never a replacement, and it showed you life without Harry on the last couple of games. It's not a good look for England. They're going to have to find somebody.
Oh, Cass. Well, look, we're going to focus on England just now. Matoma's goal was a difference as Japan became the first ever Asian side. There's a start for you. First ever Asian side to beat England. Boos rang out full-time as fans with furious. With another lacklustre performance following a 1-1 draw against Uruguay last week. After the game, Thomas Tuchel admitted his experimental side didn't pay off, but insisted again that this camp will not define them. He's right there.
We knew before that we have a quite tricky window in March because our players play a lot of football and they're invested in a very difficult league. We knew that we play very difficult opponents who will arrive in the best possible lineup. On top of it, we had, I think, 7-8 injured players, maybe even more. That all needs to be factored in. We had two very new lineups and we tried to help the player in a bit of a different structure. So we tried. We got punished for not a lot. We got punished for one counter attack and they scored. I think we had 19 shots, but only 2 on target, so we missed a bit the punch. But we wanted to learn. We learned, and it's on us now to take the right conclusion and look forward.
Cass, I just love our listeners, man. They're a different level. Right. No name on it, right? But one of the guys has been on right away saying, Ali in Zaire was the song for the Rumble in the Jungle fight between Ali and Foreman. Yes. And we even come back with another one and told us it was sung by Johnny Walkling and the Kinshasa Band. I mean, that's just knowledge. In Zaire.
No, listeners, I tell you what, you find working on radio, and it's something that telly can never replicate, is the instant reply
100%
on messages.
I love it.
You know,
I love the... You don't have it in the telly, right? No. You 100% don't have it in the telly. You have a bond and a relationship with a listener that you don't have with a viewer, I think. Do you know what I mean?
It's slightly different.
Yeah. I love it. Anyway, we're getting back to... I've got a question for you, right? We were talking about before these games, right? For England. As I call these games, Cass, necessary evils.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I think from an international point of view, you have to have them, but there's domestic managers up and down the country and players saying, I need this like a hole in the head, right? But looking at these games, we're saying, well, can he play as well into the squad? It's a big opportunity for him to play himself into the squad. There's maybe 3 or 4 places up for grabs here. Will he get into the squad? Have we seen 2 games where there's maybe 3 or 4 players played themselves out the squad?
I think that's a fair point. I mean, I felt sorry for Phil Foden.
So do I.
I feel like the lad.
He looks lost, Cass.
Well,
can you believe it?
When you're having a difficult time and you're trying to get into a squad that goes to the World Cup, and then you're playing as a centre forward, and Morgan Rogers on the right didn't work, and then it was Phil obviously playing down the middle. That it was so many positions didn't look natural. And look, I get it, it's friendlies, and the result isn't ultimately that important.
I get it.
But their performance, I mean, England's offside, they couldn't get the offside trap working at all, catching players out. They looked like they had only just met each other.
I thought the first 15 minutes of the second half, I wouldn't say Japan were going through them at will, but there was a relative ease, particularly down that England left-hand side, and they probably could have and should have scored again.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we wouldn't be surprised. You was in Qatar, I was in Qatar.
Yeah.
I was at the Germany...
I was at the game. I was here, mate.
I was there against Japan.
Yeah.
They were phenomenal.
Well, some good
and
players.
they went there again, by the way, and won 4-1.
That's right.
So this Japan team that's been growing over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years...
Well, they can play.
Oh, they can. And so much pace everywhere. Just opening doors and hurting the opposition. Did it brilliantly yesterday. And I thought it was a lesson for England.
Yeah, it was impressive.
You can't mismatch your team and go and get... England looked more like a five-a-side lineup than a natural 11.
No cohesion. There was no, didn't look like there was any balance. There was no fluency about the team at all. All right, mate, we're going to talk about that clearly much more later on this morning. England fans want to hear from you. Without Kane, Bellingham, Saka and Rice, are England actually all that? Now, we'll get Gabby on the phone. Gabby sat there, was it Monday or Tuesday? Gabby sat there, and he actually said to me with a straight face, yeah, I'm going to fly out for the semi-final against France. Gabby, answer your phone this morning. Give us a call. Let us know your thoughts. 03717 223344. Coming up next, we're going to ask Cass about Chelsea.
Derek Chisora is retiring after this weekend, so maybe Del Boy can come in and do a better job than all these other guys.
Maybe.
I've also spoken to him. He's going to come in and walk up and down Simon's back this morning to try and sort that out.
Jason Schiffman, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Simon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Well, I wish you back better anyway.
Thank you, mate.
My view is that I think that we need to bring a manager in that's going to sign a contract so the players believe that manager is going to be there next season. I don't think it's a great look when you sign these managers up and they're only signed temporarily, because then all of a sudden the players don't seem to have the same respect for that manager, because they're thinking, well, he's not going to be here in a few weeks. Do I think that this guy can come in and do a job? I certainly hope so. I think the fans are behind the players at the moment. I think I saw an amazing atmosphere, even though we lost 3-0. And I just think this is still the team that got 4 points out of City this season. So the players in that squad that are capable of winning games, but we do need a manager that's capable of getting the best out of them.
Yeah, I mean you're on your final chance, are you not, Jason? It's critical now.
Listen, it's almost not in our hands, because if West Ham get that win, then all of a sudden we're in this position where we're looking.
Jason, just
around us.
Just a quick one here. So there's an element of concern about De Zerbi. Do you share that concern? And who would you go for in this situation? Everyone's talking about maybe Glenn Hoddle or Tim Sherwood.
The reason a lot of fans that call up this show get the hump when they hear about Thomas Frank.
can't beat it, man. One of the great World Cups that was, Cass. 1990, mate.
Yeah, loved it.
We was there, mate, weren't we?
I was there, and it was just...
We were there for a shorter period than you, I think, if I recall.
Ali, I've never had as many people ask me for tickets at a World Cup. I had people at a hotel. I kept getting messages. Oh, there's a member of your family, Cascarino family, because Cascarino is synonymous with Monte Cassino, is where my family name comes from. And I had more people asking for tickets all the time, and just phenomenal.
Wasn't it great? Yeah. Where were you based?
We went to Sardinia,
beautiful.
Palermo, and obviously we played Genoa. So we was in Genoa as well.
We were in Genoa as well?
Yeah.
We played...
Beautiful, wasn't it?
Oh, I love Genoa. Yeah. Gorgeous. We stayed in Rapallo. Stunning.
Yeah.
At Portofino way.
Yeah.
Absolutely magnificent.
Yeah. Was you allowed out? Did you go out?
That's two different questions.
We wanted a curfew, but Jack would never give us one.
Two different questions. Were you allowed out and did you go out, Cass? Two completely separate questions. This is talkSPORT Breakfast before I get myself into more trouble. Hope we Mo's not listening. We Mo Johnson. Ali and Cass with you this morning. Now that, of course, is an absolute classic Nessun Dorma song that certainly brings back memories of Italia 90. But sadly we're playing it this morning because Italy's dreams of a summer World Cup were ended by Bosnia last night. First thing I've got to say, big Sasa Papac, my big mate, left back, played with Rangers. I'm thrilled for him. Absolutely. One of the nicest men I've ever met in football. And I'm just so, every club.
Yeah, of course you meet people along the way.
Absolutely. So, yes, Italy's it's an absolute disaster. But clearly I'm pleased for him as well. And that's the third consecutive World Cup tournament that they've missed, which is absolutely staggering. Absolutely staggering. We are now going to have a look at the back pages with Angelina.
Back page review on talkSPORT.
Angelina, yes. Where are we starting? Are we starting closer to home, perchance?
I mean, we can talk about England, but I thought we'd mix it up a bit because I figured that's going to be, a big topic of conversation.
Good for you.
The only thing I will say on England is the fact that Danny Welbeck has not been in the mix at all at any point makes me feel quite sad because my house is very much a Danny Welbeck fan household, so we're quite sad about that. But I wanted to talk about Marc Cucurella actually because twice in 2 days he's hit the headlines. He was talking about saying that it would be so difficult to turn down Barcelona if they called, but he's now criticised the sacking of former manager Enzo Maresca and the club's transfer policy. On the sacking, he said, the moment Enzo Maresca left, it had a big impact on us. If you asked me, I would not have made this decision. Not positive if you're Liam Rosenior reading that, is it?
I don't know what's going on at Chelsea, my former club.
There's a few players now, isn't there? Cole Palmer's been linked to a move. We've got Cucurella, obviously Enzo Fernandez with Real Madrid.
Well, let's get it right, okay? And Ali, jump in on this. You've been a manager. One of your Rangers players, is quite vocal about he'd love a move and the previous manager was better than you. How are you going to react to that?
Oh, he's getting the curly finger. Here, come here, you. Office. Oh, he's getting the curly finger. I need a word with you. Sit down there.
It's got it. Wouldn't do it, would you?
No. I think it's disrespectful.
Absolutely.
Right. I think it's disrespectful. I really do. I mean, you don't want the manager coming out and saying, right, I'm going to get rid of him straight away when I come in. That you can't have it that way either. There has to be a mutual respect, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how the questions came about. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
Particularly in international breaks, right?
Yeah, they go away and they
exactly. And he's maybe sat down at a press conference and been talking about the game, and then somebody's went, right, bang, have some of this. And they're not, I'm saying they're not smart enough. They should just go, look, I'm here on international duty. I don't want to be talking about Chelsea. I'll talk about my national team. That's the easy answer. That's the get out. I'll talk to you about Chelsea the couple of days before my next cup game, my next league game. But I'm here on international duty, and here's how it is. That's quite simple.
Yeah.
So now, Rosenior probably has to sit them all, have curly finger for him, right? Here, Cucurella, I need a chat with you. So I'm going to have a chat with you.
You don't just respect the ball, you need to respect me as well.
And then you get everybody in and say, lads, this is causing
Does he get them in a huddle?
This is causing us, not around the centre circle, this is causing us some problem. Do me a favour, when you're away on international duty, talk about your national team. Leave Chelsea out at the moment.
Well, isn't there just an easy answer when you're sitting in front of a journalist just to say, look, I'm under contract with Chelsea. I'm going to honour my contract unless things change.
Correct.
And that's it.
Simple.
I'm happy where I am.
Simple.
There's none of that. I mean, I've never managed, and I've always said, if I had a player that didn't want to play for me, I wouldn't want to keep him either.
You don't, Cass, you don't. What's the point? It could be a rotten egg in the dressing room for a kick-off straight away.
Yeah.
You know, but at the same time, I think the smart way to do it, well, it used to be the agents, wasn't it? The agents would come into paper and say, Real Madrid want my player and all that kind of stuff.
Well,
and that'd be a cop-out for the player, but he's still getting the message through.
Well, Enzo Fernandez was on a stream saying about how he'd love to live in Madrid. I mean, it's just...
So would I, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we all would. I actually lived there for a year. It was
I fancy
fantastic.
a bit of talkSPORT Madrid, to be honest with you.
Right, there's a couple of things here, right? See, what happens when players are under contract, they sign these new 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 year deals, whatever they get. Okay? In English football, when you get a sign-on fee, and Ali justified this as well, right? You get a percentage. If you sign a 4-year deal and you get 100,000 to sign on, okay, you get 25,000 per year.
Yep.
When you go abroad, in many countries, the sign-on fee's all up front.
Right.
Okay. So these players sign their new deals and get their thing, you know, their payments, but they have to wait for the 3rd and the 4th payment, or maybe if it's a 7-year deal, the 7th payment. But they get it all up front, so they're quite happy to move.
Unbelievable.
And their agents are happy for them to move.
Of course they are. They're ecstatic.
Oh, they're like
That's how they make money.
Bubble.
100%. See, you've come in here throwing a hand grenade, then you've upset Cass and I, man.
This is the second time in the last week I've done this. Sorry.
Was it the same in Scotland? Did you get part payment on your sign-on?
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to start every season or every year.
Abroad, I went to Marseille and I got a sign-on fee immediately on a 2-year deal.
Well,
and I didn't have to wait for any money. I literally signed the contract and the money was deposited within a week.
Right, I've got to go to a break. We've got to go to you.
Sorry, I've caused chaos
you come
again.
in here taking that pin
It
out
was Unai Emery last week. It's Cucurella this. I'm sorry.
You've dodged the England conversation. You're not getting away with it. Up next, I can't believe this. We're asking whether it's actually fair that Sweden and Graham Potter go to this World Cup. Of course it is. That's the rules. Back on Thursday, Simon and Willie exchanged a fair bit of banter in the boxing hour on that day going into the fight.
I said, I think you're going to get beat, is what I said, Willie.
Is that what you said?
I did, yeah. I did. I'm happy to eat crow.
Simon, have you ever boxed a day in your life?
No, I haven't, no.
You should have no comment on boxing whatsoever. You should leave it to the boxers.
We will see.
Because you've never had a fight in your life.
We will see. And when you have an opinion on something in life that you've never done, we can have a conversation about that as well.
The only thing you can box, Simon, listen to me. The only thing you can box is box in Tesco's shopping centre. Well, that's what you can box.
Willie, if you lose that fight, you'll probably be working in there.
You shouldn't give any... Hey, but I've got plenty.
Good.
I don't need to
well,
go
let's
anywhere.
see you win.
I don't do this for the money. I do it for peace.
Good, fantastic, good. So when we see on Monday, if you've won, you'll be able to say all this. But don't lose, Willie, now. Don't lose. Whatever you do, don't lose.
But Simon, if you've never boxed a day in your life, and you've never felt a punch in your face, you should have no comment to boxing.
I'm not allowed
ever
an opinion.
In your life.
I'm not allowed an opinion.
Forget about this.
I'm not
You're
allowed
not
an
allowed
opinion.
an opinion because you've never boxed.
Okay.
You don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully my opinion will mean nothing.
You should keep to the football.
But if I'm wrong, if I'm right, Willie, you are going to eat some crow, buddy.
Well, he didn't need to eat anything because the scores were wide, 99, 91, 98, 92, 98, 92. So, Willie, you got out that shift at Tesco on Sunday. Well done. Good morning.
Definitely.
It's not often you associate fan power with Chelsea Football Club, but one of the shining examples of it lies with a group called the Chelsea Pitch Owners. And they've proved to be the thorn in the side of owners past and present who've been dead set on moving stadiums to a larger, more lucrative piece of land. Essentially, the supporters group holds the freehold to the land on which Stamford Bridge sits. Former owner Ken Bates set it up at a time where some unruly property developers tried to evict the club from their ground. In order to prevent this, he established the CPO as a company that owned the pitch and offered the fans the chance to buy a share for £100. As well as that, they also own the rights to the name Chelsea Football Club, so if any owner wants to take them elsewhere, they can't be called Chelsea without the approval from the CPO. Now, in 2011, Roman Abramovich tried and failed to move them away from Stamford Bridge, and this has set a precedent for Todd Bowley and the current power brokers at Chelsea. They know any plan which involves moving from Stamford Bridge will require CPO approval from the now 13,000 fans who own it. There are fans who are concerned that if they stay at the bridge, they'll be left behind their domestic and European rivals who are moving to more commercially successful stadiums. But for the heritage and history lovers, Stamford Bridge is one of the iconic English stadiums, and to move away would be a grave mistake. It might not be as flashy as others, but stadiums like it have something about them that cannot be replaced. One thing's for sure, if Bowley wants to take Chelsea away from their home, he'll have to go through the CPO first.
The talkSPORT 20k giveaway.
You know what that is, Cash? You know that bit of music? I had to educate Andy yesterday.
Oh, no, I don't know which one.
That is In the Hall of the Mountain King by Edvard Grieg.
No, sorry, Ali, I didn't. Andy obviously didn't get it, did he?
Oh, come on. Do me a favour, mate.
I was going to say Star Wars.
This is talkSPORT Breakfast, Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will have the car for you. Now listen up, we're going to give you a chance to win life-changing £20,000 completely tax-free here in talkSPORT. That's £20,000 straight into your bank account. Spend it, save it, splash it. It is, of course, entirely up to you. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text 128 text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate, or call 0343 418 7260. Lines close 9th of April at 4 p.m. That, of course, is when you have to answer your phone if it rings. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. So, once again, for your chance to win £20,000, text win to 83338 now. OK, it's time for the return of this.
Balotelli! 2-1 Italy! He's trying to flick it on. Gay, he can. Oh, yeah! Unbelievable! A Jude Bellingham overhead hit.
It's Kevin's hatch of the day.
It's my favourite. I think it's just the head of Crookies now, that one. Crookies. Yeah. Crookies is the best. But Hatch is up there. I've got to say it's up there.
He knows some knowledge, doesn't he?
Oh, he knows his stuff.
Kevin Hatch.
Half an hour ago, Iraq booked their final place by beating Bolivia 2-1. DR Congo are also there. I'm delighted. My ball across the road at the hotel. We beat Jamaica 1-0. Now, in terms of the playoffs, Sweden beating Poland 3-2. Gyökeres a hero. 88th minute. That place must have been rocking. Czech Republic beat Denmark in pens. Turkey won 1-0 in Kosovo. And obviously, arguably the biggest news, Bosnia winning 4, I think it was 4-1 or 4-2.
4-1 on pens.
against Italy. I mean, they missed 2 or 3 penalties. Scandalous. They've now failed to make 3 consecutive World Cups. The last game of the tournament saw Suarez bite Chiellini. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they haven't won a single World Cup match since they won the 2006 final. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Joining us now for a bit more on this is a very good morning to European football expert Kevin Hatchard. Kevin, very good morning to you. What about that?
Good morning,
last night?
Edvard Grieg to me singing. How jarring is that?
There you are, mate. It's an education in this programme, mate. You don't get that with Brazil and Sterling and Townsend and people like that. Do you know what I mean?
Bit of culture.
A bit of culture from the Glaswegian or just outside Glasgow, mate. Talking about culture, we won't have any of the Italian culture at the World Cup, Kevin. It's just absolutely unbelievable, isn't it?
It is. When you think of what an enormous football nation it is, and they're the first, first winners to then not qualify for 3 straight World Cup finals, which is absolutely extraordinary. But they only have themselves to blame. If you look at some of the coaching hires they've made, Luciano Spalletti didn't work out. Yeah. I thought hiring Gattuso was always going to be a risk. You look at his club career, and that's been very up and down. And I guess I could see the point of bringing him in for a kind of short, sharp shock, but there's every indication that he's going to stay on and be the guy that tries to take them through to Euro 2028, which I was staggered by, really. I mean, that felt like a decision in the heat of the moment, really, but it looks like he's going to stay on.
That really surprises me, Kev, I've got to say. That's news to me.
Yeah, well, Gravina, the Italian FA chief, said I've asked them to carry on, him and his staff. So we'll see how that goes. I mean, it may be that in the fullness of time, calmer heads prevail and they come to a different conclusion. But you look at the way that they played against Bosnia-Herzegovina. They started fairly well. They got the goal, which came from a Bosnian mistake. Nikola Vasil, their goalkeeper, gave the ball away, and Moise Kean scored. But then the sending off is just a comedy of errors. Donnarumma waves everybody forwards. His clearance barely makes halfway. Then they get exposed with just one header forwards. Bastoni takes ages to really assess where he is. He's far too late with the challenge and gets sent off. And I admire the way they dug in. Moise Kean had a great chance to make it 2-0, missed it, conceded a late equaliser. Sending young Pio Esposito to take the first penalty, I didn't understand at all.
No.
And, he's real talent, no doubt about it. But sending him up to take the first penalty I thought was crazy. And here we are. So they've had 2 chances at it. They were thrashed home and away by Norway in the qualifiers. And here in the playoffs, they haven't made it either.
I was going to literally say that to you, Kevin, against Norway, who won their group and were comfortable, were 4-1 and 3-0. They beat the Italians. You know, that is just, surely that was alarm bells then of where this Italy team are.
Yeah, they were smashed, absolutely smashed. And look, this Norway team's caught fire in these qualifiers. They're a very top-heavy team. You look at the quality they've got in attacking areas, and it's absolutely outstanding. And Italy were on the wrong end of that. And so I get it that a lot of people have said, oh, well, it seems harsh that, say, Sweden have gone through when they finished bottom of their group. But everybody knew the deal. Yeah. And this is now, you look at the first World Cup they failed to qualify for. Ventura, the coach, was lampooned, really, and they got knocked out by Sweden. They were a bit unfortunate, I guess, in the one for the Qatar World Cup because they battered North Macedonia but then conceded a goal from long range on the counter and ended up losing that playoff semi-final. But they shouldn't keep ending up in playoffs. That's the truth of it. They are failing to make it through the main qualifiers, ending up in playoffs, and then you're on thin ice from that moment on. So whether it will bring about some kind of root and branch review, we will see. But keeping Gattuso on suggests to me that introspection isn't coming.
Kev, tell me, you touched on it there, excuse me, with Sweden. Remarkable, actually, and the whole story. I must admit, I said to Cassie earlier, I'm delighted for Gyökeres, I really am. Winner in the 88th minute, fantastic. I'll give you their qualifying group record. Played 8, 1-0, drew 2, lost 6, goals 4 against 12, right? Was there a case there late on, a little bit, Kev, perhaps what Big Ange did at Tottenham, where there's an acceptance that you're not going to qualify or you're not going to win the league, the comparisons I'm trying to make, and you put your eggs in the one basket of the Nations League?
I think that probably crept in a little bit, but I think the truth of it is that Jon Dahl Tomasson had a nightmare as coach. As a Danish coach, coaching Sweden, it was difficult for him to win acceptance in the first place, and he tried a number of tactical experiments that didn't work, and they were awful. But because they won their Nations League group in Level C, they were able to get this chance. And Graham Potter's gone in there, and it might seem like a jarring switch, but you have to remember he took Östersund, who were a 4th division team in Sweden, all the way into Europe, and they won the Swedish Cup. And so he's got quite a decent reputation there. And of course, he's a guy with a long Premier League track record. Now, some people will say it's a track record that has a lot of losses on it, but it is a long Premier League track record. And I think that appealed to Sweden. His command of, the language and the culture appealed to Sweden. He was given the job with 2 qualifiers to go. Didn't win any of those, but was then given an extended contract ahead of these playoffs, which I thought was really interesting because I think they wanted to send a message. This is our guy. And what he's been able to do is find a way past Ukraine in the semi-finals, and that was on neutral ground in Valencia for obvious reasons because Ukraine can't play at home at the moment. But they're still a good side, and they were able to win that. And then they've beaten a Poland team with Robert Lewandowski in it. So, they've managed to seize that second chance in the playoffs, whereas Italy weren't able to do that.
On final one on Sweden is Isak and Gyökeres. So how did that work out for them, and how did they use them, Kevin?
Well, obviously, Isak, with the injury problems he has at the moment, gives Gyökeres a clear run at it. And Gyökeres really showed up across the last couple of games. He was able to score a hat-trick in the first game against Ukraine. He was able to score the late winner here against Poland, which was a good finish after a bit of pinball in the penalty area. But, of course, Isak's going to be fully fit and raring to go.
Yeah.
Sweden will hope, and Liverpool will hope by the summer. And then that's a different issue because one of the things about Tomasson, I think, was he was trying to cram both of them in and couldn't quite work out a way to do it. So Graham Potter's going to have that. Now, he's been playing a kind of 4-4-2. It'll be interesting to see what he does in the summer. But if Dejan Kulusevski's back as well, and obviously we don't know if that's going to be the case. He had a horrible time with injury in the past year or so. But if he's fully back as well, suddenly you've got a squad that's got some real quality in there.
Yeah.
He didn't have all of his best players available. Victor Johansson, the goalkeeper, was out. So he found a way. He had to mix and match and find a way. And that's what he's been able to do.
Kev, you'll be ecstatic to hear you've dodged an English bullet, and I don't have time to ask you about England, Kev. Is that major?
Just as well.
Is that major morning?
Focusing on other qualifiers. Do you know what all I'll say, though? It's 8 wins out of 8 in qualifying.
Yes.
With no goals conceded.
Correct. Absolutely.
The friendlies.
Absolutely, Kev, but they are important friendlies. Now, come on, Kev.
Can we have
That's coming from a Scotsman that can beat 1-0 by Ivory Coast, by the way, Kev, just so you know.
Kev,
don't worry about that one either. Don't worry about that one.
A quick one, a brief one. The Czech Republic, I didn't think they could beat Denmark.
Amazing.
And they've gone out and done it. And I know it was on penalties.
Great home record.
I agree with you. Yeah, that's 19 unbeaten at home now. Yeah. 19 unbeaten at home in major qualifiers.
Ireland are kicking themselves, I'm telling you.
Oh,
I don't think they're a great side.
No, they're not.
I don't think they're a great side.
No.
I think they've fought their way through, and I applaud that.
Yeah,
because they've really dug in. They've used their experience. They've found a way. Their coach is 74, by the way, Miroslav Kobek.
Yeah.
He's kind of bounced around Czech football for years and years and years. They turned to him in an emergency. And a bit like Graham Potter, he's found a way. And it wasn't pretty, but Denmark, for all of their possession, for all of their quality, yes, they equalised twice, but they couldn't find a way to win across the 120 minutes and open themselves up to penalties. So, yeah, I don't think Czechia are going to be one of the great sides at the World Cup this summer, but they fought for their place.
Kev, I can't let you away. Was that intentional that one? A Czech bouncing around football? I'm hoping it will.
Do you know
I'm hoping, mate. Listen, mate. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt of that one, mate.
I would love to say I'd thought of that ahead of time for a really,
all over
aged joke, a really aged joke that only our generation might get.
Yes.
There'll be a whole young generation
Correct.
of listeners who go, what would that mean?
There's one
what
for the
would
young
check bouncing mean?
Brilliant, Kev. Good to talk to you as always, mate.
Cheers, chaps.
By the way, have you ever had a check bounce?
Oh, aye. Absolutely. I remember used to get to the petrol station, the shops, and have a write a check.
Yeah.
Mind it? Yeah. And you used to have a card as well.
You could actually hand checks over, couldn't
That's
you,
right.
to people, like quite comfortably, and but so many.
Oh, man. Right, okay. Coming up, we're going to get latest surrounding Tiger Woods, who has announced it will be, quote, stepping away.
Thomas Tuchel has a whole lot fewer Arsenal players than he might have imagined in the coming days, because 10 Arsenal players have now withdrawn not just from England duty but from international duty. Eze, Gabriel, Hincapié, Madueke, Rice, Saka, Saliba, Timber, Trossard, Zubimendi. 4 Arsenal players had originally pulled out of international duty at the start of last week, a day after the Carabao Cup final, a match that they lost to Manchester City. They were Gabriel with a knee injury, Saliba, recurring pain in his left ankle, Trossard, a hip injury, and Eze, a calf problem. Now Zubimendi and Hincapié are the latest to withdraw. In fact, both Saka and Rice joined the England camp on Friday, but didn't feature in the draw with Uruguay on the same day, and now they've withdrawn. Sir Alex Ferguson used to remove players from international duty. In 2011, he described friendlies as a waste of time. Arsenal invincible Martin Keown is in our midst. Martin, are Arsenal being hit with a disastrous injury crisis, or is Arteta doing a Fergie?
Well, there's a lot of players that are injured going into this international. I hope that you're not making it as an inference that Arsenal are deliberately taking players out, because I think that.
You've touched on the urban media. We're going to you and I are in a couple of minutes on this, right? It's 6:50. It's the 1st of April.
Yeah.
I had a wee rant about it yesterday, right?
Oh, did you?
Right, you go start train fares. How much?
on Friday, I'm going to Middlesbrough, and the train fare one way single is £322.
I've seen. I can't accept it. I filled my car up. I told Andy, filled my car up at the airport before I came down here. It was low. It was near bordering on empty. 147 quid diesel.
We got a lorry?
No, I've got a normal Audi. Right, 147 quid. At the biggie, at my second.
Your diesel, you said.
Diesel. My biggie was on the phone last night. He phoned me moaning, filling his car up. 89 quid he was petrol.
No, it's scanned. Where we're going and where we're ending up, I don't know.
By the way, £2, just about £2 for a litre of diesel here. It's £1 in the USA, right? It's probably cheaper than water.
Aren't we one of the? We're the most expensive in Europe, aren't we? Maybe in the world.
It's tax on them. It's tax on petrol, tax on whiskey, it's tax on
tax on
everything, mate. Oh man!
Oh no! Don't get me started.
One person,
all the stealth taxes that are out there that end up.
It's unbelievable.
I mean, I just don't know how people manage. I really don't. Obviously we've got family and friends, and you hear this all the time where everything seems unaffordable now.
It's terrible.
Restaurants are unaffordable. You just see prices, and you're like, what is that?
I actually feel for the restaurants because
of course it's not. They're passing on.
Correct.
Yeah, they're passing on, Ali.
100%, mate.
But everyone's got the same issue that no one seems to control prices now on anything.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And food. I mean, I'm noticing it myself, and I don't shop an awful lot. But you're going into the shops and the price.
I've stopped eating chocolate because I refuse to pay like £4 for a little packet of chocolate. I'm just not bad.
Sam, Andy and I were talking about it yesterday.
Do me a favour.
I know. I'll need to think about it myself. The only way I can stop chocolate is if I wire my jaws together. Right, golf now. Tiger Woods has officially stepped away from the game to focus on his long-term recovery. This comes just days after another car crash, sadly, in Florida, and a subsequent arrest, with Tiger telling authorities he was distracted by his phone while changing radio stations. Let's bring in talkSPORT golf correspondent Rupert Bell. Rupert, how are you? Very good morning to you.
Hi, Rupert.
Very good morning, Stadler and Waldorf.
Well, with some justification, Rupert, surely. I know it won't be affecting you in the kind of circles you move in, and you probably get somebody to do your shopping for you. But believe me, here at the cold face, prices are harsh.
I do have a degree of sympathy, but anyway, let's get back to golf. This Tiger Woods story, it's just sad, really, that it.
Of course it is.
Now that if you put it in, look, he was extremely lucky last Friday that he didn't walk away or have a really serious injury, or someone else could have been hurt. Yep. Remember the incident in 2021. There was another incident in 2017. Then you have to go back to 2009, I think it was, the first of the 4 car crashes he's been involved in. And you just think, finally, maybe some sense is coming to him and his support network. And remember, he's got 2 children. Maybe finally he has to realise that something needs to be done, because he was found with some painkillers in his pockets, which he said he had been taking. Now there's going to be a jury trial, I think, in a month's time. He's brought in a hotshot lawyer who defended him before. But all in all, it's just a realisation that the golfing powers have now deserted him. Now he needs to go and get himself sorted out, both mentally and physically, and stepping back from sort of being in the sort of front line of, will he be playing in the Masters, his administrative role, the questions of being Ryder Cup captain next year. Well, that has to go all on hold so he can sort himself out, as I say, both mentally and physically.
Well, you could, he's certainly a lucky man, and he's also lucky he hasn't got killed, or he hasn't killed somebody else, because that reckless behaviour is just, I think hopefully for him, this is a line in the sand moment, Rupert, because he just cannot continue whatever he's doing. And we know he's under serious medication for all the horrific injuries he's had. But there's a much bigger danger out there for Tiger if he was allowed to just continue to, not come to terms with what he's like and how he's acting.
Yeah, and you think about the last cut, not this one last Friday, but the one before, when he nearly lost his leg. I mean, he was lucky not to be killed, driving at high speed. And again, it appears that he was driving in a reckless fashion, allegedly, maybe way beyond the speed limit in the area. And as I say, extremely lucky that no one else got injured. And he actually wasn't more seriously injured. It seemed like he walked away without any obvious injuries. So it is a realization that while, yes, it was no alcohol found in his system because he had a breathalyzer test last week, the people who were with him following the crash, the police, also reckoned that he was showing signs of impairment. Well, all that will come out in the court case, but actually what really is the underlying thread here and theme here is there's obviously something seriously going on, whether with these painkillers he's taking, whatever. We know in America there's a huge opioid problem with people being addicted to painkillers, and it may be that Tiger is one of those as he tries to get back to full fitness. Remember, this time last week, we were seeing him playing in the sort of golf simulator event, still talking about playing in the Masters. But it actually suggests that he's probably living in a sort of unreal world about his golfing prowess at the moment. You can't just turn up at the Masters and think you're going to be competitive. We don't want to see that. He was supposedly be opening up a new course at Augusta on Sunday. Would he go to the Champions Dinner? I think now what he needs to do is take himself way out of the spotlight and concentrate on his recovery, both mental and physical.
Absolutely, Rupert. It's very sad to watch, actually, and very sad to see one of the greatest sportsmen of all time. But he's obviously become a danger to himself, and probably just as important, if not more importantly, a danger to others. So I think you're right, mate. He has to step away. We're looking forward to the Masters. We're not got time to talk about it this morning, Rupert, but I don't have any doubt you and I will get a chat next week. But we're very much looking forward to it, my friend. Thanks again.
No problem, Ali. Morning, Danny. Speak soon.
Take care, mate. Now what we've got now, that still to come in breakfast.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Download the new improved app to easily manage your accounts and quotes.
OK, following the confirmation of Roberto De Zerbi's appointment at Tottenham, we'll be speaking to someone who knows him better than most.
Lallana is faced with the goalkeeper and he slips it past him too. Another call finish.
That's correct. Ex-Brighton, Liverpool, England man Adam Lallana will be joining us later on this morning on the show, and we'll be asking how much should we be reading into the results of this international break as we continue to count down to this summer's World Cup.
It doesn't mean a thing, mate. The only one thing matters is against Croatia. That's when he's got to get it right.
We still need to build towards this World Cup. Yeah. There are players who need to perform to get on this plane.
Give us your views on it, obviously, Jamie and Jason there, 03717 223344. That indeed was our breakfast preview with our good friends at Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Get free next day track delivery. Head to travisperkins.co.uk or download the app.
This is the fourth shortest reign of any Premier League manager. Just 5 days longer than Ange at Forest and 35 longer than 9-day Tudor Queen Lady Jane Grey. Oh no, you're taking a mickey now. And for a bit more context, it's thought that the average human would be able to walk from London to the heart of the Swiss Alps in such time as Tudor has been in charge. I want to know who worked that one out. We're going to take a call on it. Somebody that's called 03717 223344. It's Eli. Eli, very good morning to you. Thanks for taking the time to call us this morning. Is this the right thing that's happened, Eli?
Yeah, good morning. Talking about Tottenham Hotspur now, my club that I've supported over maybe 50 odd years.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, picking the manager, I'm not sure which type of manager you want for the next 7 games, but I don't think it would hurt for a massive football reset, a Tottenham Hotspur reset, to actually go down.
Oh, that's a heck of a statement to make, Eli, because look, I don't think there's any guarantees you come back up, mate. Are you saying you could go down, spend a couple of years down there, rebuild and come back up? Is that what you're saying?
Ali, yeah, good morning to you, sir. I support Hearts, my Scottish team as well, so good luck to them on Saturday. But yeah, back to Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah, yes, Ali, I feel we might not, with the squad we've got. We've only got 3 players there at our club at the moment who actually want to be there and want to fight, and what it actually means to be a Tottenham Hotspur.
Football fans all have stadiums we love. But do any of us have a pitch that we love? It might sound like an odd question, but pitches can be different sizes with big consequences. Why is that? And what are the actual rules? Back when association football started, pitches could be up to 100 metres wide and 200 metres long. That's longer than Ellen Road. Not the pitch, the stadium. Anyway, UEFA wanted a standard across Europe for international matches, which became 105 metres long and 68 metres wide. But some clubs had been rebels, not intentionally, but because of the stadiums. Take Highbury, for example. It was 5 metres shorter and a metre narrower, meaning away sides had a challenge to adjust. White Hart Lane was exactly the same. And actually, when Spurs temporarily moved to Wembley, they asked the FA to shorten the pitch. The FA, very offended by the sacrilegious suggestion, said no. Which in fairness could have actually benefited Tottenham, because when they moved into their shiny new stadium, the pitch was exactly the same size as Wembley's. Today, Forest Pitch at the City Ground is a big one. It's 2 metres wider than any other pitch in the Premier League. But the smallest of all, Craven Cottage, just 100 metres long and 65 wide. No excuse for not tracking your man. There are a couple of crazy outliers in Europe too. At Napoli's home ground, the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, the pitch is a whopping 110 metres long. At least they don't play on a slope like Newcastle do. There's a 2-metre incline on the pitch at St James's Park, and don't get me started on the old pitch at Yeovil too. It used to be a slant of 2 metres corner to corner and across the halfway line. So UEFA have their standards. So do the FA, but they do give pitches in England some wiggle room. Pitches can be anywhere between 90 and 120 metres long and between 45 and 90 metres wide. I mean, the rules state you can't have a square pitch, but in theory you could have one that's 91 metres long and 90 wide. Imagine rocking up to play a Sunday League game and the pitch is basically a square. So there are rules and regulations on sizes, with a UEFA standard that roughly everyone follows. But as we all know, size doesn't matter, does it?
Okay, 5 minutes past 7, Wednesday, the 1st of April. Very good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out their website for more details. Ali and Big Cass with you this morning. Now, on the way this morning, we'll be speaking to someone who was part of Roberto De Zerbi's team that finished a club record 6th in the Premier League. Champions League winner Adam Lallana will be joining us in around half an hour. Look forward to that. And after Italy failed to qualify for the 3rd consecutive World Cup, we would check in with celebrity Italian chef and our very good friend Aldo Zilli, who will be, he'll be so disappointed this morning. I don't think there's any doubt about that.
Well, he's a fanatic Chelsea fan.
Loves it, doesn't
and
he?
Italy, and he'll be
man.
absolutely covering himself.
Well, you think about it, the amount of Italians we have in this country, up and down the country, they'll be waking up this morning going, dear me.
Yeah.
You know,
I find it hard because I just look at Italian football, and especially in the 80s, it was the benchmark.
Well, that was it, wasn't it?
It was like the place to go.
That was it.
People like Brady, Haley would go over there.
Absolutely.
And
Ray
others.
Wilkins.
Yeah. Loads of them.
Like Joe Jordan before that, you know. Absolutely, mate.
Just great players had gone there and you know, and went there because it was the Italian league. And now we're in a place where Italian football is struggling club-wise as well. And then internationally, it's just scary to see that they can't get out of a group.
No.
And then we were talking earlier about Norway getting beat. You can get beat by Norway, but beating 3-0, 4-1 in 2 games home and away.
No, I'm with
but
you.
in qualifying.
I'm absolutely with you, mate. Now, England failed to excite the nation in last night's 1-0 defeat to Japan. Thomas Tuchel has now failed to beat any of the 3 top 20 countries he has faced this time so far as England manager. But last night's captain, Mark Gay, is calling for patience.
Rely on each other. We've got so much experience in the group, so much experience in the manager. That moments like this shouldn't define us or shouldn't define the campaign that we've had under the manager as well, leading up to this match. So it's important that we reflect, learn quickly, and just remember how good we are and remember the good things that we have been doing before and take that on to the World Cup.
OK, after last night's game, a full England debrief is available now in the talkSPORT Daily podcast. Stuart Pearce, Adrian Durham and Jim Proudfoot picked their England 11s to start the opening game of the World Cup. Cast. Have some of this. Jim and Stuart agreed on all 11 players. Pickford in goals, back 4, James, Gahey, Stones, O'Reilly. Midfield of Anderson, Rice and Rodgers. Front 3 of Saka, Kane and Gordon. What do you think? No Bellingham in his team. That's the first thing I've got to say.
No, I was about to say, because at the weekend I got asked this, and I put Bellingham in as the number 10 player and had Morgan Rogers on the left. But it's a close call between him and Gordon. James, if he's fit, absolutely. He's a standout right back, and he's also a player that you could utilise in midfield. Really, he's so comfortable on the ball. But yeah, it's pretty much the team I would go for. Yeah.
Yeah, it's... I think it kind of, well, maybe 1 or 2 it kind of picks itself. But anyway, joining us to give his take on last night's action and indeed the Uruguay game as well is host of the Sunday edition of talkSPORT, Henry Winter. Henry, a very good morning. Henry, how are you this morning?
Henry?
Morning, Ali. Morning, Cass. I can't believe that Rupert just called you Statler and Waldorf.
Poor, isn't it? Poor.
Starsky and Hutch came to mind more.
Laurel and Hardy.
I'm thinking more Crockett and Tubbs. And I'll let you work out who's who.
Answers on a postcard.
Henry, what about last night? I watched it. I had that on the telly. I had the Scotland game on my iPad. I wasn't overly enthused by what I saw anywhere, to be brutally honest with you, mate.
No, it wasn't. I mean, there were vaguely encouraging elements. I mean, we saw how important Elliot Anderson is. Declan Rice obviously comes back in alongside him. I agree with most of the 3 team formations and lineups the boys just gave there. I think Pickford obviously is key in goal. O'Reilly is probably England's starting left back. I mean, he did get 1 decent cross in. Not totally convincing. But yeah, I mean, the issue is, well, as you guys would know, is a number 9, is a centre forward. You know, without Harry Kane, there's such a drop off to who comes in. And to play Phil Foden as a false 9, I mean, it was just bemusing the moment you saw the team sheet. And I thought it was unfair on Foden because it doesn't, he's not going to outjump a centre half.
No. Henry, look, there's a bigger picture here because obviously losing games in friendlies, going to a World Cup, you've done the ultimate, you've qualified comfortably, and they've done it so easily, England, it was never an issue. But you're trying to find things you know, on certain players. And me and Ali were both saying earlier, you've learnt more about who you're not going to take more than actually anyone who's absolutely coming and knocked the door down to get in the England squad for the World Cup.
I think we also learnt more about the quality England are going to be facing out there.
Yeah, good point as well. Yeah.
I think we've lost Henry.
We lost him.
Yeah.
Well, he's right. I mean, we look at Japan, and you don't have to go through their results. I mean, they've gone to your place.
They're a good team. They're, make no mistake about it, they are a good team. They look as though... See, the one difference, the big difference against Scotland and against England, they looked as if everybody knew their job.
Yeah.
They were organised. And I know, I get it, certainly more so.
Is too much choice a problem?
What can give you? I think so.
I totally agree.
Oh, definitely.
You can end up scratching your head on numerous positions
100%.
Instead of going, well, if I know me best 11 to 15, I'm really happy with that.
100%.
But saying, oh, we've got 22 players and they're all quality in every position, it just feels like too much choice can be an issue.
I think it can. We'll get Henry back with us. Henry back there, mate?
Yeah, you cut me off. I know I'm boring, but I mean that was another England humiliation. So, but I am on the plane, but just reporting. No, look, listening to you on the centre forward. Look, it's a wider issue here, and I mean you guys will be well placed to know. England have an issue generally in the academies in terms of the players that they are bringing through. There are a lot of ballers, there are a lot of tens, there are a lot of wide attackers, and I know it's because teams play more just with one up front in a 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1, but actually we're just not developing the Kanes of the future, and that is a huge concern.
I find that unbelievable. I really find it unbelievable because back in the day, surely as a kid growing up, the one thing you want to do more than anything is be the centre forward that scores the goals.
Yeah.
With the greatest respect to your goalkeepers and your midfield and your defence, if you're a kid, you want to be a goal scorer. I tell you, Henry, here's my question for you, and it's not after the event, believe me. Has Danny Welbeck not got to consider himself really, really unfortunate? I just think he looks an automatic one for me in terms of he's not going to start. He knows he's not going to start. He's not going to be a problem. And he might be the best one of the lot to bring off the bench.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, he's not had the most... I mean, he's had a decent season, but I mean, he is 34, and if he is going to be our best option, I mean, you want a fully fit, fully firing Solanke. Obviously, he's not having the best of club seasons, but it is a broader issue than just simply thinking, oh, we can turn to a 34-year-old to save us if anything goes wrong with Harry Kane. I mean, it is bizarre. I mean, there isn't that desire to be that line-leading centre-forward, someone who's going to hold up the ball, play off the shoulder, just play with his back to goal, take the kicks like you guys did. I mean, Euro 96 seems like yesterday, but you look, Terry Venables took Alan Shearer, Les Ferdinand, who else? Ian Wright was left out, Sheringham was there, Robbie Fowler was there, Ian Wright was left out, Andy Cole was left out. We had so many, but basically it's Kane or England have got real issues.
Henry, just a quick one, mate. We're up this morning, we're having a moan about friendlies, England, obviously Scotland as well. But I tell you what, mate, talk to me about Italy. Is that not probably the story of last night?
Well, 4 times winners and not qualified for 3 World Cups.
Wow.
The first World Cup I covered was Italia 90, and you went to the country and you realised the huge obsession, absolute obsession. The country will be in mourning today. We're obsessed with the 3 Lions. Italy are obsessed with their team. And to think in the middle of this extraordinary run of missing 3 World Cups, they beat England at Wembley to win the Euros. Figure that one out.
No, we can't. That's exactly that, Emery.
That's incredible.
Me and Ali have said that this morning. We can't believe that, what has happened over the last decade plus with Italy.
So, Marco, Henry, thanks for your time this morning, mate.
Pleasure.
Enjoy your day.
Cheers,
Have
guys.
a good day.
Cheers, Emery.
I was writer and host of the Sunday edition of talkSPORT. Henry Winter. Now, quickly, an interesting one. We're going to reach out when it comes back. Eddie Howe's situation at Newcastle. Has he been stitched up by his chief executive? Well, we chat about that next. And just for the record, Simon's been on cast, just to put you in your place, right? Palermo is in Sicily.
Okay. Yeah, I meant Sicily, yeah.
Simon, this is what I'm having to deal with, Simon. We're going to take a short break.
Do you trust the Spurs ownership to get this next appointment right?
Do I trust the Spurs ownership? I don't know. Do I rate the Spurs ownership?
Well, you said you're not sure that you know what they're doing.
It's not for me to trust them because I don't care about their judgment. But do I rate their judgment? Well, not at this moment in time, because the body of work that they've produced is poor. They weren't responsible for the appointment of Thomas Frank, so it's an irrelevance, that question, because Daniel Levy made that appointment. The fact that he fired him, the fact that was an inevitability and forecast by me 2 or 3 months earlier isn't a surprise. The fact that they've in my mind, they've got 2 people that are number 2s in business, running the business and making decisions with outside influences that sit on their board that don't have any football knowledge, in my view, making decisions, has brought out outcomes that would make anybody go, well, I don't really rate their thinking. As far as De Zerbi is concerned, he's a decent manager. He comes with his own baggage like most of them do. He did a decent job at Brighton. He was an ungrateful little wretch when he departed because he decided to have a broadside at the owner of the football club that spent enormous amounts of time giving him an opportunity and backing him. Just because you lost a game in Europe doesn't really entitle you to have a broadside at your ownership model. But that's what he does, and that's what you get. Now, for him, taking Tottenham Hotspur, I think there's all upside for him. This is a huge football club. Irrespective if it gets relegated or not, my balance of probabilities it will bounce back again. And it'll be priced into people's thinking. If he takes the Tottenham job because of the size of that football club and the scale of it, then there will always be a dispensation if they were to be relegated, because it wouldn't be on his watch, really. He can't be responsible for less than 20% of the season, producing an outcome that ultimately has already been seeded in the previous 80%. He might get them close and close and go down and do what Benitez did, which is bring them back up again.
Okay, Wednesday the 1st of April, 7:19, just coming up 20 past 7. talkSPORT breakfast. Big Cass and Ali Buddy this morning. Now on to Newcastle, who have been making some headlines the past 24 hours after revealing some unusual financial movements. And owner David Hopkinson didn't explicitly back Toon boss Eddie Howe. Owner David Hopkinson, is that what it says? Yeah, it's no owner, is he? Chief exec, aye, I mean, chief exec, come on. The owner's not.
No. It's a consortium.
Absolutely. Hopkinson said, I don't have a stance on his future, Cass.
Oh.
Here's a quote for you out. What I can tell you is that the Derby loss hurt, of course. We take it seriously. There's nothing within us that thinks, well, it's just 3 points and on we go. It's an interesting quote, it really is. The Daily Mail's Craig Hope tells us more.
David Hopkinson's answer is open to misinterpretation. What it was not is Eddie Howe has 7 games between now and the season to save his job. What it was not really is that Eddie Howe is under massive pressure internally. It's my understanding that he still has the absolute support of the hierarchy and everybody is working together to find a solution, not only in the remaining 7 games, but beyond this season. If Newcastle don't make the Champions League this summer, then if they are to reinvest, if they are to reshape the squad, and Eddie Howe wants to do that. If they don't make the Champions League, they're going to have to sell some big stars to do that. Not only perhaps one, maybe more. The names who come into the frame: Sandro Tonali, Anthony Gordon, Tino Livramento, and others. That is why, amid this uncertainty over where Newcastle are going to finish the season, how the summer looks in terms of all those various scenarios, what they'll have to spend, and because they spent £250 million last summer, yeah, money will be tight if they don't make the Champions League. That is just an upshot of the climate in which they're in.
I think that's fair. I think perhaps, and I think Craig's maybe pointing in that direction, maybe reading too much into the comments there.
Yeah.
From the chief executive.
But it's still not a good comment, is it?
No.
You know, not say it's uncertain and then weigh in.
No, I don't think it helps. I think the first thing it does, it creates uncertainty.
Yeah.
And promotes question marks over the future, doesn't it? I mean, it does. Make no mistake about it.
Absolutely.
Whether you meant it or not, that's what that statement does.
I'll tell you what, the easiest way to sort out this sort of discussion, Ali, is if Eddie Howe left Newcastle, how many clubs do you think would want to take him?
Oh, good for you.
If there was an opportunity.
Absolutely good for you.
So that's telling you that a lot of other people think he's done an exceptional job. And yes, it's been a difficult year for them. And it didn't help getting beat so heavily, obviously by Barcelona. Yeah. But I saw, and you and Andy talking yesterday about it. The game, first leg, Newcastle was superb at St James's Park. Up until half time, they were very close to getting.
Oh, they're in the game.
Absolutely.
I mean, they're in the game, and then obviously they lost a couple of goals the way they went.
It's like having a good player who suddenly has a dry patch, and it's not quite happening for him. But if he left the football club, there'd be a lot of clubs who would take him.
Correct.
And Eddie Howe, to me, has done an amazing job at Newcastle in many different ways, against losing a guy that was so pivotal to them. They clearly tried to keep hold of him, knowing in the end they couldn't, and then they were left with spending lots and lots of money that hasn't quite worked out.
No, I'm with you. I think, can't speak for all, but interesting, and Newcastle fans will let us know, but I think the vast majority of Newcastle fans, will be clearly disappointed at probably recent results.
Yeah.
But, what Newcastle fans will be looking back and saying where they were not so long ago, and where they are
relegation
now.
battles. Yeah.
Relegation, had an owner who they clearly didn't have a relationship with. They wanted their club back. They certainly have got their club back. Ed Howe's helped give them the club back. They're now doing well, winning trophies, Champions League football. I think sometimes, and we spoke about it there 5 minutes ago in that break, there's sometimes an unrealistic approach from football fans, and I really dislike this sack culture.
No,
it's not going well. 3 games of loss, sack.
No, I just think it's just a ridiculous thing to do. If people upstairs are making decisions and they backfire, you should be held to court for it. You should be, maybe introduce some regulation. Regulations for everything now, yeah? But the one thing they don't do at Premier League clubs is to say you can't have 4 managers in a season, right?
I think you're right. I just think
how can you have clubs having 4?
It's an absolute nonsense.
No.
It's a nonsense.
You can get rid of managers all day long. You can't get rid of players. No. A player's contracts stand up. You can't just go, you can try to sell them. Well, if someone wants them, great. But managers, they can just say, right, gardening leave. I mean, I do know a good few, and so do you, Ali, have managed. I think it's harder than it's ever been to manage a football club.
I don't disagree.
At all levels, because it happens at League 2 as well, by the way, and down the.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and everybody's got opinion. I mean, everybody always has had.
Where's the word loyalty? Where's the word loyalty? Where's that gone?
Well, that's history.
That was a given as a player and we've got players speaking out. We've got managers that are getting sacked at literally
that's
on
history,
a whim.
Mate. It's history.
Yeah.
You just don't get it, mate. Now, we're talking international football. Italy are not at the World Cup, and our good friend Scouse Joe's devastated. And Joe has rang 03717 223344. Joe, a very good morning. They tell me you're in mourning this morning.
Are you Giuseppe first? Are you a Giuseppe?
I'm a Giuseppe, yeah, I certainly am, yeah. Good morning, lads, how are we?
We're in good form, mate. How are you this morning?
I'm really good. I'm out on Uber, as I am every morning, 3 till 9. I've got 3 kids under 4, so I'm up the wall. But I just wanted to say, Ali, thank you for the show, because life's hard at times, and you guys just put a little smile on thousands of our faces.
Lovely, Joe. That's important, mate.
Listen to this, though. Cast your mind back. I have Googled this, so I'm not that clever, but June the 18th, 1994. That was the World Cup in America.
Yes. Was that when they get beaten penalties in the final?
Italy, Republic of Ireland. USA 94, giant stadium. Right, what a shame that the Ireland or Italy will not be at this World Cup when it's back in the USA.
Yeah.
I was 14. I was born in New York, believe it or not. You wouldn't believe it with the accent. I lived there till I was 8. But I was over there for the summer when I was 14, 94. We had a big family barbecue, all Italian and Irish family. And obviously there was just cooler boxes full of American beer everywhere. That's probably where I got my taste for that. But what a festival experience, what a party experience, and it's such a shame with all the Italian and Irish families over there and immigrants, that there won't be either of those sides in the World Cup.
Joe, it's unbelievable when you think about it, mate. And you're so right to mention that. You think about Italian and all the Irish, particularly up that kind of northeast coast, up New York, Boston, up that way. But I'll tell you something else, Joe. I was actually thinking about all my wee Italian pals up in Glasgow, and there's plenty of them as well. Yeah. And they'll be gutted. They'll be devastated.
Definitely. I also want to say, Ali, that story you told about having a pint with the Geordies.
Yes.
What a story, that's what makes you a good guy. And if you're in Liverpool for the Paris game in a few weeks, take me number off the producer, give us a ring and we'll have a pint.
Hey, can't it beat it, mate? I had a couple of pints, you boys. The last time you were in Liverpool, actually, a lot of the Scouts lads were out and staying in a hotel. I don't know what it is, but I just attract Scousers and Newcastle fans. And by the way, it's a free pint for me, mate, because you're always very generous. I can't argue with that, mate. Well, and I'm a Scotsman, remember.
I'll take you to the best pub in Liverpool, which most people won't know, and we'll have a free pint in there.
Brilliant, Joe. You enjoy your work today. Thanks for the call this morning, mate. Now, coming up, Cash, we're going to be joined by 2019 Champions League winner Adam Lallana. Friday night, England drew 1-1 with Uruguay. Ben White making his first appearance for his country since he walked out at the Qatar 2022 World Cup camp due to a reported falling out with the then assistant Steve Holland. So, Ben White on Friday night, Martin, a bit of an eventful night for Ben, to put it mildly. He gets booed when he put the ball in the back of the net, and he gave away the penalty in the 94th minute to see the game finish 1-1. And he was booed as he came off. Jonathan Norcroft in the Times, it's an angry world and modern football crowds exhibit it. But booing a player after scoring for your country is still difficult to comprehend. Supporters do need to hear Ben White express some sort of regret. White is shy, but it's not too much to ask him to talk. We didn't hear from Ben, but we heard from Tuchel on the booze.
Disappointed if our players are booed. I understood that it happened before to players and they went through it and took it on the chin. Still, I don't like it. Still, I'm disappointed. I will always protect my players. He did so well in training and he scored for us, so it could have been a perfect comeback. But it was mixed reactions. It was not only boos, some cheered, so let's hope we put this behind us.
Martin, Jonathan Norcroft in the Times were saying that maybe if he's going to continue his international career, Ben White, he should explain himself what happened.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation. and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931 when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
Wednesday the 1st of April. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will without doubt have the car for you. Alan Big Cash with you this morning. Here's a quick one for you.
Yep.
Harry Kane.
Yes. What about him?
Ballon d'Or winner.
Well, he's been frighteningly good this year, and if he ended up going on and winning the Champions League, absolutely. I mean, his numbers are just ridiculous. I mean, he's become better, a more rounded player than he even was at Tottenham. He was pretty much as unplayable then.
Well, I'm going to ask somebody about that because we're now joined by this man.
Finds Lallana, lovely turn, elegant turn towards the far corner, and Adam Lallana scores a wonderful goal from 20 yards out.
Adam set the standard from the first to the last day. So one of the best players I ever worked with, absolutely incredible person as well.
Now again, and it's in! Unbelievable! He's taking his shirt off. It's to substitute Adam Lallana. Norwich 4, Liverpool 5. Jurgen Klopp onto the pitch.
I repeat, it's an honor to be his coach, but it's an honor for the other players to play with Adams.
Yeah, that's correct. Premier League and Champions League winner, played under De Zerbi 45 times during a record-breaking season for Brighton. It's a very good morning to Adam Lallana. Adam, good morning.
Adam.
Good morning. Can you hear me, chaps?
We can hear you loud and clear. My first question is simple. Harry Kane, unbelievable, Adam, eh?
No, I know, mate, I know.
Absolutely frightening. Listen, we've got you on. De Zerbi, a man you know very, very well. Did that surprise you? The Tottenham, did the 5-year contract, the length of the contract surprise you?
Not really. I mean, I think lots of contracts now are obviously 3, 4, 5 years. I mean, you know, they'll only get a year's payoff, I think, in the majority of these contracts. So I just think people are probably making too much of a meal out of it, really. I think should all just be speaking about how honoured the club are to get a man like Roberto in for me to steady the ship and build.
So tell us, Adam, what was it like working with Roberto? Because obviously you worked under some great managers, Klopp, as you know, we all know how great he was. So where do you put Roberto as a coach, and what he helped you develop your game?
Right up there with the top. I always compared him with Jurgen. Actually, probably just the passion that they both possess for the game. I think kind of tactically and game model wise, they're completely different. But in terms of like love and passion for football, they're exactly the same.
Adam, as an interest, I've got to read you a quote, if I may, from your teammate back in the day, Lewis Dunk, in 2023. He said this about De Zerbi, and I quote, "Since the new coach arrived, I see football in a completely different way." He said, "But the initial transition was carnage and confusion." So I get it totally. It maybe took a little bit of time for him to get his methods over. The one worrying thing for Tottenham fans, he doesn't have a lot of time to get that over, though.
No, I think. Listen, Roberto's an extremely smart man. He'll know that he's not got time to play a certain way, a certain style, and he won't be snobbish to not understand that. He knows he's got to go in there, motivate a group of men, and luckily for Roberto, he might not know that, but he's one of the most inspirational managers people there is, in my opinion, and. After 5 minutes of him speaking in our first meeting when he joined Brighton, I was on board. I was following him, and I have no doubt that he'll be able to emulate that at Spurs.
Well, there's always a side, Adam, to managers where they get frustrated and disappointed if the team's not quite functioning. But he always to me came across, and I know this through people I met in Marseille, always said he lifts and inspires people around him.
He just has that natural gift, his passion for football. And listen, I think the Italian culture, lots of people coming out of Italy have that. It's just part of the way that they understand football. And it might to me and you seem like they're having an argument, but it's not. It's just pure football conversation with a lot of passion, and that's what Roberto and his staff are like. And maybe to some players it might come across slightly confusing, or if you chuck an interpreter in there as well, there's a lot of noise. But football's a common language, I think, and you can feel it when he speaks. And I think that's going to be his biggest asset going into the situation he's going into at Spurs. And I'm just glad he's taken it, because I met him, I think 3-4 weeks ago. I was in Milan and we met for dinner, and we were chatting, and it was still probably a bit raw for him coming out of Marseille, but I'm just so glad he's gone straight back into work, because football's a better place with him in work.
What's your gut feeling, Adam? Can he keep them up?
Definitely. Not even a doubt in my mind. Not even a doubt. I just think they're very, very fortunate. And I'm actually slightly jealous. I was speaking to a player at Spurs who was picking my brains about him, and I just know how they're going to be in for a roller coaster, but a great one.
Brilliant, mate. Listen, I want to move on, but I know you've not got a lot of time. I want to ask you about Liverpool. Very much an up and down season for them, mate. I wouldn't be totally ruling them out against PSG, but boy, is that a tough game for them.
Very tough game. It's going to be a great game, though. I think if anything's going to kind of turn their season, it'll be a game over two legs against PSG. So I'm excited, and hopefully there's a fairy tale for Mo, which will be nice.
Yeah. What about England last night? We're reading too much into it, or should we just take it as these friendlies, they're not going to please everybody? I called them the other day a necessary evil. I think the England coach needs them, the England team needs them, but I think some of the players and certainly some of the managers in the top flight don't need them. What did you think of the two games?
A little bit like we've just said there. I've been involved in them, and they're difficult. So many dropouts, and so many players not playing, and you try a different system. They've not got a striker, and I absolutely love Phil. I love Phil. I'm desperate for Phil to just get back to playing with a little bit of a spark. He just looked a little bit void of confidence last night. Yeah. And Pep's been looking after him this year a lot. He's not had much game time, and I'd love to know why. Is he just giving him a breather for the year almost, because it's. It must be heavy for him playing 7-8 years at the top, and he's still young. It was just one of them games, I think. I wouldn't read too much into it. I thought the Japanese were absolutely fantastic. I must say.
They're a good team.
Yeah, absolutely, Adam.
Organised.
I was going to ask you, Adam, look, life for you now, under 21s back at Southampton, where it started for you. You enjoying it?
Yeah. Absolutely loving it, guys. I get to coach every day. I love my players, the under 21s. There's some great talent there. Just need to get them understanding that the best players work the hardest. It's as simple as that. And they're not meant to understand that at 18. But it's my job to kind of try and get them to understand that, I suppose. But no, I'm loving it, chaps. It's great. I'm playing footy, still playing a little bit.
Magic, man.
Joining in.
Oh, brilliant. Are you joining in, Adam? Still loving it?
Every now and again, joining in when I can. Every now and again.
Yeah. Oh, it's brilliant. That. See, when you're the referee and you can join in and you can shout the next goal's a winner and all that stuff. It's magic, mate. Adam, so good to talk to you, mate. You keep enjoying it.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers, Adam.
All the very, very best.
I'll tell you, quick one, right? This is a fair indication of how you do at clubs as a manager as well. Brighton fans had a lot of time for him, yeah?
Of course.
We'd say that. He'd done really well.
Of course.
Marseille fans loved him. They were always against the hierarchy at Marseille because they knew that he needed more to compete with PSG. And they could never find the money to improve the quality of the squad. But he's still done really well. And the fans did really love his football, the way he, attempted to win games.
Yeah.
And look, to me, if you're going to take this type of manager, De Zerbi, and I didn't ask Adam this because it might be a little bit unfair, but if they got relegated, there's even more reason to stay with him.
Yeah.
Because if he's come on an agreement and said, look, if we did go down, I want to stay here and I want to rebuild this football club. I think they need someone in that is prepared to do that. Now, whether there's fans out there go, oh, no, he won't. He'll just either they'll jump ship or he will. I don't see that. If he's took on a deal and they signed a 5-year, that's with the understanding we go down, I'm staying here.
Well, it has to be.
Has to be.
It has to be.
You can't say we've gone down, we're going to change.
No, that's what Andy and I were saying.
It's impossible.
It's different, completely different if you go to a Harry or a Chris.
Yeah, before him.
Or Glenn or somebody like that. That's completely different. You say, look, there's a job for you, 7 games, keep us in the division. But if you go to somebody like De Zerbi, you can't go with the same. You've got to say, look, keep us up. Please keep us up. But see if you don't, you need to stay and build and get us back up.
And do the things that are required for you to get straight back up the year after. 100%. And if it means making some painful decisions and selling to certain type of players, then do it.
Do you know something? I don't think that would be listen, going down would be a disaster, of course. How you need to react to it. But see, getting rid of 1 or 2 of the players, I don't think that's a disaster.
No, I said this months ago. I said they're my least favourite group of players in the Premier League.
Why is that?
Because it just feels too many of them. They're doing Tottenham a favour.
Yeah, I know. And it's interesting, Cass, because I can't disagree with you, and I'm looking at it, and all I'm going off is kind of body language and levels of performance. Yeah. Because we're not sitting in that dressing room.
No.
But it doesn't look a happy camp, mate.
No.
That's what you've got to say.
No.
It doesn't look a happy camp. Anyway, Adam, what a great lad, eh? What a smasher.
Yeah, great footballer.
Lovely.
And no wonder he wants the 5-a-sides.
That's great, isn't it? Oh, man.
You never want to be against him in a 5-a-side, Adam Lallana, do you? No.
Okay, that was Alan Lallana, now Southampton under-21 coach with us here. Still to come in breakfast this morning, guys.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Doing what matters for the trade. Find your local branch at travisperkins.co.uk.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao,
bella ciao.
Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato.
I know, we're doing our best to put a smile on our Italian friends' faces out there, believe me, because it's a tough one. First ever world champions to miss 3 consecutive World Cups. It's remarkable, really. His last World Cup game, the one was 2006 World Cup final. And the weight goes on. My wee pal Gattuso in charge. I'm gutted for him. I really am gutted for him. We'll be joined by Italian celebrity chef Aldo Zilli. Aldo will be gutted, man, to discuss what on earth has gone on with Italian football and where do we go from here. And Adrian Durham is on the way to give us his views on England the last couple of games. That was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. Bricks on bricks on bricks. Over 40 million available to order with delivery to site. That's one less thing to worry about.
Is Itoma the sort of fighter, Dave, that the likes of Fury, the likes of AJ, you know, that they're in the mid-30s now, they're trying to avoid, and maybe more like a Fabio Wardley and Dubois would be one of the fights that you'll have next?
Yeah, Joshua and Fury won't go near him. He's too young, too fresh, too fast. You know, their best days have gone. So, Itoma, realistically, he's looking at Dubois, Wardley winner. I don't think the Wardley winner. I think if Wardley wins, I don't think he'll box him because they're in the same gym. Dubois may. But Caballel, you know, Itoma's gonna have to fight one of them guys. He's not gonna get one of the old guard that's on the way out. He's gonna have to box one of the real, you know, main men, which is Caballel. So it's interesting, and then he's gonna be around for another 15 years, hopefully. You know, so there's going to be people we're not even heard of yet that are going to come and have a go at him.
Is that the danger with heavyweights like him, to be so strong and powerful but quick as well?
Yeah, it's the speed. All heavyweights can punch. For me personally, I've never been put over in a fight, never been down and out. That's because I can see him coming. The danger with the time is you don't really see him coming. He's that fast. You know, he throws a lovely right hook off the back of a left hand to the body, and no one sees it coming. That's what Franklin does well. Franklin doesn't get hit properly. That's why he's never been over. All his great chin talk for me is nonsense. There's no great chins. Anyone gets hit properly, you go over.
By the way, I was looking for a wee bit more for you, Adam, regarding my Harry Kane question. I can't like you.
I did laugh.
Adam, Harry Kane. Aye, good. He's good, Dally. Right, next question.
I had that with Ben White. I interviewed Ben White once, and he one or two word replies and not much more.
Oh, it's hilarious.
It's because you know, and you get it. They have to settle in. And look, Adam was great afterwards, wasn't he? You know, but it's funny when you get someone in front of you. You ask them a question and they just answer like you said. Yeah, great. Yeah.
Oh, it's happened 100 times. That was brilliant. Okay, what we got? 10 to 7:50, 1st of April, talkSPORT breakfast. Alan, big cash with you. Now, what we know this Wednesday morning, well, I'm about to tell you, England fans are tipping Arsenal teenage sensation Max Dowman to be a future Ballon d'Or winner. Let's not get carried away, will we? After his wonder goal against Portugal in their under-19 Euros final. I mean, what's it like? I love it, but come on.
Yeah, no, look, we go from 0 to 100 mile an hour immediately. But I would say I was at the game live when he came on as sub, and he just lit the place up, and you could see there was something very unique about him immediately.
You don't see it very often, do you?
I know. I said to a pal afterwards, who's an Arsenal fan, I said to him, I tell you what, I don't know why, I got this feeling that I'm going to say to someone one day, I was at the game he got his first goal. And it was, you come out the stadium at the Emirates and all you could hear was the Max Diamond singing, you know, there's only one Maxi Diamond, you know, all that sort of stuff was going on. But look,
he's a young man on a long road.
Yeah. What a journey, though.
Yeah.
He looks a real deal.
And there'll be others, because we're seeing this whole host of generation of sort of 16, 17, 18-year-olds that are seemingly, just got such incredible talent.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody that has certainly had a lot of talent, one of the best ever. Tiger Woods said he's stepping away for a period of time to seek treatment and focus on my health, he says, following an arrest after another car crash, sadly. And Italy lost to Bosnia on penalties to miss out on a third World Cup in a row, a feat never before achieved by a World Cup winning nation. Remarkable. Italian journalist Daniele Fisichella told talkSPORT he'd get rid of the country's FA and reacted to the result with the boys on Sports Bar.
Well, if I was in charge of the FA, if I was Gabriele Gravina, the FA chairman, I would step down straight away tonight, because Gabriele Gravina, the FA chairman, was in charge also 4 years ago when Italy were knocked out by North Macedonia in the playoff, and he still kept his place. So that would be the first things I would do, for respect to all the Italians. It's far too expensive these days for families in Italy, for young players, if they want to start. I mean, the charges are quite high as well. And often we hear that in football schools, in football academies, tactics is taught more than technique, how to dribble, how to cross, how to take a shot. And I think we need to go back to the basics. But this will bear fruits maybe in 10, 15, 20 years' time.
Well, will it? That's the interesting thing. I mean, dramatic changes you would think would have to be made, but according to Kevin, they're not going to make dramatic changes.
No. But there has to be an understanding of where Italian football is today. Yeah. And it's in a dreadful place. And I'm talking club level as well.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, fair play to Milan last year. Tremendous. Yeah. Two semi-finals against Barcelona. The games were unbelievable. But the final, the level of performance we saw from PSG was absolutely incredible, Cass. I mean, one of the best performances I've seen.
They tore them apart. Everywhere.
But you're right. Italian football, I think, and you and I were speaking about it, early 80s, growing up with that period, Gazzetta.
And into the early 90s.
Yes,
when they were AC Milan were phenomenal. Juventus.
But it's just not the same. Absolutely not the same.
Juventus is a football club. I look at them now and just feel like they feel like an also-ran.
Yeah.
They've been champions numerous times. But Italian football's in a real mire. I look at them and I always put Italy as one of, rightly so, one of the leading clubs in Europe.
So do I.
International team, in Europe. And they're a far cry from that.
Unbelievable when you think about it. 3 World Cups in a row. Anyway, elsewhere, there's good news for DR Congo. They qualified after beating Jamaica 1-0. And the final spot of the 48 was filled by Iraq, who were 2-1 winners against Bolivia. The full lineup is on our website, talksport.com. Now, here's an interesting one, Cass. On to a club and country row involving Northern Ireland and Blackburn Rovers manager Michael O'Neill. Oxford United complained to the EFL with concerns about their players being managed by a relegation rival. O'Neill then played all 4 Oxford players in last night's friendly against Wales while resting his Blackburn players. That's not all. He sent back 2 Hull players from the squad to rest as they play Oxford this weekend. After the game, O'Neill said he was disappointed that his honesty had come under question.
Look at the players in question. Isaac played 45 minutes tonight. Kieran played 60. Jamie played 60. And young Jamie McDonald didn't play at all. Terry played a little bit more, but he didn't finish both games. I'll always try to protect the players. I don't want the players coming here and affecting their club situation. So it was a little bit disappointed with that, because I didn't get a phone call from any of the managers. I didn't get a phone call from anyone from their respective clubs. So they felt that whatever they decided to do or what avenue they took to raise their concerns, it's disappointing given that I've managed over 100 international games and I've always put the players first.
He's 100% right, by the way. I don't care what MD says, right? The first thing, see if I had a problem with it, you pick up the phone.
Exactly.
You would pick up the phone and say...
Fergie phoned more international matches than anybody.
Absolutely.
Any issue.
Absolutely. Yeah. You pick up the phone and you discuss it. I mean, if you're the Oxford manager, Hull manager, doesn't matter. You phone him up and say, Michael, you've got so-and-so here. Can I have a wee chat about him? How's you looking in training? Do we need to get a bit... And that's how you do it.
Do you know Michael personally?
I do. I've met Michael a few times.
And as a person, what would you think? Would you go...
Oh, mate.
100% straight down the line on what he does?
105%.
Yeah.
Right down
I've
the
heard
middle.
that from other people.
Right down the middle. There's no way he's doing anything there.
No skullduggery at all. No.
What he's doing there is the best for Northern Ireland and the best for his players. There's no doubt about it. In my opinion, knowing him as I do, there's absolutely no chance he's thinking anything else.
Yeah.
I really don't think so.
No,
mate.
I've heard similar. I mean, I've never met Michael.
But getting back to the point as well, communicate. See if you've got a problem, you want to have a discussion. He's right, pick up the phone. I bet he's on the phone 4 hours a day with managers and players and all that stuff.
Oh, I can remember going back to Island days with Mick McCarthy and Jack Charlton. You know, they were on the phone. You know, I mean, it was hard for players to get hold of Jack, but he was on the phone to managers.
100%.
All the time.
I was just saying, always. Walter was always on the phone to players when he'd get a manager's job. He was always on to Scottish managers when he had the Rangers job as well. To be fair. Right, we're moving swiftly on. We're going to ask a question. What has Thomas Tuchel learned from those 2 games?
With Mo Salah leaving, a lot of commentators have talked about the fact there's a lack of icons in the Premier League. Obviously, last year we had De Bruyne leave. You've had, over the course of the last few years, you've had Ronaldo back fleetingly. You've had Ibrahimovic here fleetingly. But the big boys don't come to the Premier League, do they? I mean, Haaland is probably the only global icon that is still there. Would that be fair? I mean, Son's not there anymore. De Bruyne's not there anymore. Salah's going. Kane, Ronaldo, Zlatan, all gone. Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Messi, Neymar. They would rather play elsewhere. Why?
That's a very good question. I don't think there's as many superstars today as the kind of has been in the past. Obviously, Messi, Ronaldo were the 2 superstars, and no one could get anywhere near them. And you know that doesn't mean to say that others like Neymar and Luis Suarez weren't. What I would say is, I think Real Madrid's, whatever you say about Manchester United, even when they're at their pomp, that I think are the biggest club in the world, the most attractive club in the world. You could argue maybe even Madrid in terms of just living there as well. I think is incredible. Barcelona too. You know, you think about that Barcelona team of Messi, Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, Puyol, just absolutely sensational. And you look at Real Madrid now, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, Bellingham. Who else have I missed? I think the general ones, they've always had the very...
What football ground are you thinking of when someone says this?
Really tough place to go. Difficult place to go. Such a tough place to go.
It's a tough place to go at the moment.
It was a really difficult place to go, always.
But what are the toughest places to go, really? We've scoured the planet to find out. Forget a cold, wet Tuesday night in Stoke. Try playing in a blizzard 220 miles inside the Arctic Circle at the world's northernmost professional club. When Chelsea lost at Tromsø in Norway in the 97-98 Cup Winners' Cup, a massive snowstorm hit at half-time. These 2 boys and their brooms were absolutely no match for it. We're staying in Scandinavia for Scotland's toughest away day on a windswept cliff in the Faroe Islands. In Euro 2000 qualifying, Craig Brown's men were taken to fishing village Toftir. Kevin Gallagher called the pitch a cowfield and the wind like Pittodrie on a bad day. The Faroe Islands part-timers equalised in stoppage time, leading to these absolute scenes, and still one of Scotland's most embarrassing results.
Daft little ground, silly game.
But away trips don't come any tougher than a lung-busting schlep up the Andes to face Bolivia in La Paz. But now the Bolivians have taken home advantage to another level. The country's highest city, El Alto, 4,100 metres above sea level. Grass doesn't even grow up here. Bolivia have not lost here yet. The longest unbeaten run in any professional league ever belongs to Red Star Belgrade, or Crvena Zvezda if you must. They've gone 7 years without defeat at the Rajko Mitic in Serbia's Superliga. Their fans are pretty intimidating as well, but they're not as loud as this mob. Galatasaray's Ali Sami Yen Stadium's officially the loudest in world football. In a derby with Fenerbahce, Galatasaray fans set a Guinness World Record of 131 decibels. That's louder than Motorhead, and pretty tough to carry out your manager's instructions when you can't even hear them. However, our most intimidating away day is in Wales, where cameras can't enter and players can't leave. HMP Prescoed. This prison team was briefly kicked out the Gwent League over concerns about young opposition having to go in there. Now that's a tough place to go.
Early June 1939, Germany, always a tough place to go to.
Past 8, very good morning. This is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. Browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Alan Big Cash with you this morning. Now, on the way for you this morning, after Italy failed to qualify for the third consecutive World Cup. Unbelievable. We're checking in with celebrity Italian chef and a good friend of the programme, Aldo Zilli. And they're joined by two-time Cricket World Cup winner and Warwickshire all-rounder Chris Woakes. Brilliant. Now, though, England sadly failed to impress again in the final camp before this summer's World Cup.
The footballing equivalent of judges' houses. Some had the X Factor, some didn't.
Japan have been the best team in both boxes, and we all know that the most important area of the pitch is both boxes.
We knew that we play very difficult opponents who will arrive in their best possible lineup.
Had his side putted in by Karu Matoma. And Japan lead, a devastating counter-attack.
The economy of the passing was absolutely magnificent.
Japan have looked more composed, they've looked more in control, they've looked more threatening when they go forward.
I mean, England weren't great in the first half, but there's been no discernible improvement at all since the break.
Work in progress is learning, and we've got time, and we know we'll be there and ready in the summer.
So much experience in the group, so much experience in the manager.
It doesn't mean a thing, mate. The only one thing matters is against Croatia.
Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, they're absolutely miles off it.
Our best opportunity of scoring come in probably the last 10 or 15 minutes when Maguire and Byrne come on.
Bowen, plenty of air underneath and in towards Maguire. Good save by the goalkeeper.
The two games, I think, maybe have thrown up more questions than answers in many ways.
And England to boot off. Poor dress rehearsal can often make for a great performance. Boy, does it have to. England 0, Japan 1.
Yeah, that's correct. England beat either Uruguay or Japan. Just two more friendlies against Costa Rica and New Zealand. Surely they'll beat New Zealand. Surely, goodness, they'll beat New Zealand, Cass. Before the World Cup opener against Croatia and Dallas. After the game, Tuchel admitted there was a lack of spark without Kane, Rice, Bellingham and indeed Saka.
You can answer the question. I will not now dig into individual player performances, but we played in the way we played, and players tried everything. But we struggled to create clear chances. We struggled to win one-on-one duels. We were too narrow in the first half in our structure. I don't know why. Second half was better because we had more width and more attack with our fullbacks. We wanted this normally throughout the whole match, so it got a little bit better. But yeah, overall, we created from set pieces and had some deliveries, but not a lot of clear-cut chances.
Well, I'm delighted to say joining us now is talkSPORT's voice of live football. It's none other than Adrian Durham. Adrian, a very good morning.
Adrian.
Ali, Tony, I've just about recovered. No, I haven't recovered. It's going to take a long time to recover from those games. Oh.
Hey, I got to say, you always make me laugh. I always go through your markings. I love them because I've never known anyone. I'd love to have known if you'd seen me and Ali play bad games, what you'd give up. But giving ones, you gave 2 1s out, yeah?
No, 3. I gave 3
3 1s, right, okay. And what was the 1 for? What were they getting that 1 for?
Tying their boots?
They put the shirt on the right way around. No, listen, and listen, the marks out of 10 are on the website, talksport.com. You can agree with them or disagree with them. What I will say is, from the very outset of doing the marks out of 10, I've made it clear I'm a harsh marker. So, Jim Proudfoot, our commentator, said to me, well, you've got to give them at least 4 out of 10 for getting off the bus. And I said, no, I'm not doing that. They've got to earn the marks. So there are some 1 out of 10s. One of the ones was for Thomas Tuchel, Phil Foden, Cole Palmer got 1s as well. And that's the worry for me. Some seriously talented, creative players, and they didn't turn up. Rodgers didn't play particularly well. Cole Palmer was awful, gave the ball away from the goal for the goal and didn't chase back. And then you've got Phil Foden, who we put a non-goal scoring attacking player in a centre-forwards kind of position and expected him to score goals. He's not been in form. He's not even been playing in the big games for Manchester City. So quite why we put that on Phil Foden, I don't know. He's had a chance and he's not taking it.
Ed, I'm just ecstatic you weren't around marking my O grades back in the day, by the way.
I'm going to mark you 2 out of 10 for this show. So just brace yourselves, all right?
Hey, tell me, Cass and I were talking there, mate, and we've got into these 2 games, and we're saying to ourselves, right, he's probably got maybe 20, 22 of his squad named. It's be interesting to see who can get into the squad. And now Cass and I are thinking, might be 1 or 2 have actually played their way out the squad, mate.
Exactly right. The talkSPORT Daily podcast is me, Stuart Pearce and Jim Proudfoot today talking about who has played their way out of this World Cup squad. I think it's a shame, but Phil Foden isn't going to be going. Now, you've been talking about the Max Dowman goal that he scored for the England representative side. Fantastic. There's all these clips of Max Dowman, brilliant. Phil Foden's been there, done all of that, and look at him now. He's still got a lot to do, Max Dowman, and good luck to him. Phil Foden, he's going to be 30 at the next World Cup, and I don't think he's going to be going to this one. So I think his peak years, we won't be seeing him at a World Cup, which I think is such a shame. But there's others in there as well. Kobbie Mainoo, when you look at him for the goal, he's running through treacle, towing a caravan with a flat tyre. What's going on? I mean, this is England, mate. You've got a big chance to go to a World Cup, and you're just jogging around pointing at other people to do your work for you. I didn't understand that at all. So there's some serious problems there. Listen, if you put Declan Rice, Harry Kane in particular, plus others back into that side, and there's a debate on the podcast, actually, the talkSPORT Daily podcast, as to whether Jude Bellingham starts in that first game at the World Cup. I personally think he does.
He's got to.
Well, if you want to have that argument with Stuart Pearce, mate, feel free. But
he's got to, Ed. Surely he's got to.
Yeah. But where? Because hang on. You've got a 6 and an 8. That's Anderson, who I thought was one of the few positives last night. And Declan Rice comes back in, has to play, in my opinion. So that's the 10 position for Jude Bellingham. So is he playing better? He's been injured, I know. But do you put him in ahead of Rodgers, who Thomas Tuchel absolutely loves? Cole Palmer hasn't really done it. Played okay against Uruguay, but didn't play well last night at all. He seems to want to take Phil Foden. There's competition for that place. I personally would give it to Bellingham.
Yeah, I want to ask you this question because me and Ali were talking before we come on air. It was quite, England didn't really offer anything until they actually went direct and got Maguire burn on. They got lots of crosses in, lots of corners, and that was the only time that Japan looked actually unsettled.
Tony, I think this is a really great point. We turned into set-piece FC at the end, and at least we started taking some decent corners because the corners in the first half, blimey, it's like they'd never taken a corner before. What's wrong with these guys? You could practice them as much as you want, and they were putting in that The set pieces were dreadful first half, in my opinion. Right, so we've turned into set piece FC. You lump in Byrne and Maguire. Maguire gets a big mark for what, a 10-minute appearance.
You gave him a 7, didn't you, Abe?
Yeah, and the reason is I mean, it's a bit of a jokey 7 in a way because he's on the field for so little time, but at least he's had an impact. At least he's tried to do something. And there's somebody who's actually done well in the 2 games who might not even make the final squad. I hope he does because I really rate him and I love the steel and metal that he shows. He's got such strong character. But we've turned into set piece FC. So Thomas Tuchel, an elite coach, has turned into a manager who can't get his players to play well for most of the game, and so ends up just lumping the ball in the box. We've had plenty of that. There's plenty of those around. I was at a National League game at the weekend. I went to York City against Woking. There's plenty of managers who can lump the ball into the box at the end of a game, and they don't cost what Thomas Tuchel costs per year to the FA. So if he's got to give us more than that. I think Thomas Tuchel, his credentials are up for debate because we've yet to see him at a tournament. He's got to prove it to us. The big test is Croatia in that first game. I make Jason Cundy right with that, but there's no evidence we're going to do anything.
I'm just listening to you. I mean, Gabby's another one. You just don't sound the pair. You don't sound as confident as you were about England's chances in this World Cup. Oh, you don't mind me saying that, mate. You seem to have lost a bit of confidence, Eunuch Bonlaw.
Are you taking the you-know-what?
Yes. I want a quick one on. I want a quick one on De Zerbi before he with Adam Lallana on Ed, and he was brilliant. He
was, I listened to it. Yeah,
very complimentary about De Zerbi and his chances of keeping Tottenham up. What do you think of the whole scenario?
Well, if I was a Tottenham fan listening to Adam Lallana, I'm feeling great. Yes. I'm feeling fantastic. But there's another little side to it, and that is we know that De Zerbi has sometimes difficult relationships with the people he works with, not just players. But also, he was in charge of a Marseille side that didn't even get a playoff place in the Champions League this season. Thomas Frank took Tottenham comfortably into the top 8 of that Champions League. So they've gone from a manager who sorted them out in the Champions League but got it wrong in the Premier League to a manager who couldn't even get a side into a playoff position. So he's got to hit the ground running. He's got to do it. Listen, the reality is Spurs shouldn't be going down. They're not one of the worst 3 squads in that Premier League. But he's got that job to do. If it goes wrong from the off, as it has done with Igor Tudor, then he's got a massive problem. And Spurs have got an even bigger problem because they're going to be going to Lincoln next season if he doesn't sort it right out. Now, Lincoln is a terrific club and they're doing very well. They could go up from League One.
No good about it. They're going up, mate.
What I would say to the Tottenham fans is
they're definitely going up.
Make a weekend of it because Skegness isn't too far from Lincoln City's ground and it's a beautiful resort.
Well, I've got to just finalise. You've done a great job of making England sound like Italy.
I've got to say, Ed, it's been brilliant interviewing you, and I'm giving you a 2 for this interview, mate.
Good. 1 because you turned up.
And one's for putting your shirt on me.
I was going to say I was nearly naked, and that would have been a big fat 0.
Hey, I remember you playing at Peterborough when we had that game, mate. You were outstanding. The problem is everyone else was out running.
Brilliant, mate. Have a good day.
Cheers. He's right, by the way.
Here's this tap for you, Cass. I enjoyed that. De Zerbi left France with the highest win percentage of any Marseille coach this century, by the way. 57%. Igor Tudor was 56%. Frank's second suggests Spurs fans should treat that statistic with very much caution.
Can I just say, and when Aid uses Marseille as a reference and not getting out of the Champions League group, Marseille can't even get close to competing with PSG, even close financially, and Monaco. Yeah. They are so far behind the 8 ball. If you look how many ex-Premier League players are at Marseille, it's about 5 or 6
I know.
That weren't deemed good enough to stay at the biggest clubs in England. Okay, and that's where Marseille are as a football club. They just cannot compete financially.
It's amazing. I think back at some of that Marseille team I played against. That won it.
I met a good few of them. They were good lads. You would have been with Basil.
I met Basil. I met Basil over in Italy. Brilliant lad.
Very funny.
I mean, that was a front 3, wasn't it? Rudy Voller, Boksic, Abdili Pele.
Well, the day I left Marseille, Right, I go in the office to sign for Marseille. On the way out, Rudy Vuller comes past me. He says, he says, he says, because he spoke a bit of English, and he straight away said to me, "You'll love Marseille. It's an incredible football club." And he was going to Roma. He went to Roma at that particular time. And but yeah, there was Boksic was there. You know,
what a player he was.
Yeah, I mean,
midfield, Deschamps. Frank Sauzier was there.
They've had them all. Desailly's been there. They've had loads of great players.
Barthez, goalkeeper.
Yeah, Barthez, Fabian was
By the way,
lad.
that madman at left back. Did you play with him, D'Amico?
No, he'd left by then. I played with Amoros.
He played as well. Yeah, Amoros played.
He was a hell of a player.
D'Amico was a belter.
I'll tell you a funny story on Barthez.
Right, one of the breaks. Got to go to break. Right, I know they're looking at me. We've got to go to break. But I want your Barthez story before the end of the show, and I'll give you my D'Amico story. Right, here we go. Learn about the first ever fully AI run football club next.
Chisora is retiring after this weekend, so maybe Del Boy can come in and do a better job than all these other guys.
Maybe.
I've also spoken to him. He's going to come in and walk up and down Simon's back this morning to try and sort that out.
Jason Schiffman, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Simon. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Good. Well, I wish you back better anyway.
Thank you, mate.
My view is that I think that we need to bring a manager in that's going to sign a contract so the players believe that manager is going to be there next season. I don't think it's a great look when you sign these managers up and they're only signed temporarily, because then all of a sudden the players don't seem to have the same respect for that manager, because they're thinking, well, he's not going to be here in a few weeks. Do I think that this guy can come in and do a job? I certainly hope so. I think the fans are behind the players at the moment. I think I saw an amazing atmosphere, even though we lost 3-0. And I just think this is still the team that got 4 points out of City this season. So the players in that squad that are capable of winning games, but we do need a manager that's capable of getting the best out of them.
Yeah, I mean you're on your final chance, are you not, Jason? It's critical now.
Listen, it's almost not in our hands, because if West Ham get that win, then all of a sudden we're in this position where we're looking.
Jason, just
around us.
Just a quick one here. So there's an element of concern about De Zerbi. Do you share that concern? And who would you go for in this situation? Everyone's talking about maybe Glenn Hoddle or Tim Sherwood.
The reason a lot of fans that call up this show get the hump when they hear about Thomas Frank.
Right, here we go, 8:22, Wednesday the 1st of April. This is talkSPORT Breakfast. Alan Big Carsway this morning. There's a story in The Sun which has grabbed attention. Private investors want to launch a football club that will be entirely run by AI. It will include replicating the likes of Sir Alex Ferguson when it comes to doing team talk, picking a side, making subs, buying, selling players. A group of mega-rich business leaders believe everything can be done with AI, bar replacing the actual players, with cutting-edge software, track form, fitness and even mental strength to decide who makes the team. By the way, I'm not a fan of this. I mean,
no.
I don't like
What's
this.
it called, the club? Sheffield United?
I don't.
That's what they tried to do.
I just don't like
They
it.
went back to Chris Wilder, didn't
I'm
they?
worried about this AI.
Cool.
I'm genuinely worried about it, Cass.
I am as well, and I'll tell you for why, Ali. So we're going to get a stage. We're going to have an AI league where everybody has AI, but still someone's going to come at the bottom. Yeah? Someone's still going to be bottom.
Yeah. I know.
So
how
does that work? Because everyone's going down the AI road. I get it.
I hate it. I'm watching things. My kids show me things on the phone, and I go, "That's unbelievable." And they look at each other and laugh, and they go, "It's AI, Dad."
Yeah, yeah.
And I can't tell the difference.
No. Well,
that worries me, mate.
Yeah, no, that is concerning.
I'd say we're going to move on. We've got to move on. We're going to get the latest odds with somebody who could well be doing getting replaced with AI. Coming next.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18 plus gambleaware.org.
Dave Stevens, I of course jest. You'll never be replaced, never mind AI. You're irreplaceable, my son.
That was a very, very low blow. I was reading that story myself. I mean, it's extraordinary, but it is the way the world's going, isn't it? And actually, you know the journalist who wrote that story? You know the swimmer, Adam Peaty?
Yes, of course.
Actually, it was written by his brother, Chat G. Come on, join in, lads.
Is that the best you got, Dave?
What's the day today, lads?
Can I? Right, okay.
Get with the programme, lads.
David, I need to ask you a question.
Steve-o, it's taken you 14 years, but I'm saluting you. I'm saluting you, my old son. I tell you, Steve, I've got to say though, what isn't a laughing matter, of course, is the front page of the Post. This is a bit shocking, actually. Unless it's if it's another AI, I'm chucking it and putting a microphone away.
Well, yeah, now I'm doubting myself, actually.
I know. But this one here, is it the closure of around 200 William Hill shops? I mean, I'm guessing that's not AI and it's not an April Fool.
No, that sadly is as a result of the tax cuts to the betting, or the tax rises, the tax rises on the betting.
We did forecast this, did we not?
Yeah.
Yes,
absolutely.
Everyone knows.
Yeah, that was a warning that came, but unfortunately, the government went ahead with these incredibly high tax increases. So yeah, look, that's a serious story. Obviously, I thought you were referring to the Aidan O'Brien Guineas horses, Ali, coming out of the.
Nah, I saw that.
Again, you talk about technology. Apparently, there was some sort of computer glitch over at Ballydoyle yesterday morning that meant two of their horses, Gestad, who's 7-1 third favourite for the 2,000 guineas, and Albert Einstein, who was the big gamble for the race, but was a little bit disappointing on his reappearance at the weekend at the Curragh. They were taken out, so obviously the market, changed. Then Aidan came out and said they shouldn't have been taken out. We're probably going to supplement them back into the race. Now it's 30 grand each, which is a lot of money in the real world.
Of course it is.
But to the Ballydoyle owners, it's not quite so much. But what was most interesting was Aidan saying they will both now be trained for the Guineas, including Albert Einstein, who looked every inch a sprinter. So that was a bizarre old day that livened up yesterday. And then the other big racing news yesterday, if you're Dan Skelton, you probably raised a glass last night because Willy Mullins, he had 4 winners. That was another thing, but he's fine. But Willy Mullins, in a couple of weeks, Ali, obviously will be up at air.
Absolutely. He's only got one entry.
Last 2 years, he's won the race, but he's had 6 runners each time.
Correct.
He's gone mob-handed because it's worth 200 grand. So it's been pivotal to the Trainers' Championship, which obviously Willy's won.
Yes.
This year, he's only entered 1 horse in the race, so might not even have a runner. So I think for Dan, I hesitate to say Willy would wave the white flag, but it feels like he knows he can't chase Dan down this year. He's just got too big a lead. So
is it fair of me to say, Steve-o, that there's a lot of punters out there who'll be happy for Dan, and it's well deserved. You know what I mean? Because it's a brilliant race last year, but he's been absolutely terrific the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, look, he's built up to this, Ali. Like in any sport, as you know, it's not overnight success.
Yeah.
He's had to build the foundations for the last decade. He's got a brilliant team. His dad, Nick, great Olympic show jumper, of course, is a huge part of it. His brother, Harry, the jockey. It's a real team effort. And as I say, he is going to be crowned champion now this year. But that won't detract from it. It'll be a brilliant Coral Scottish national. 12-1 the field at the moment.
Looking forward to it, mate.
Little over 2 weeks, we'll be up there.
We always have a good one. Just a quick one, Steve. Have England drifted at all in the World Cup? I mean, will I keep my tenner in my pocket to bet England for the World Cup?
No, they've shortened them.
I did a piece last week for one of the papers where I said about how do you think England will get? And I said, anyone back in England at 6-1, I'd like to thank them because that money is staying with the bookmakers. And I'm not after timing because I just don't see how we will go to America and beat the likes of Argentina and Brazil, the South American giants. How we're a shorter price than France, I don't know. Well, I do know. We're a British bookmaker and therefore there's a bias towards England. Spain are 9-2 favourite, 6-1 England, 13-2 France, Argentina, Brazil, both 8-1. Look, we'll get latter stages because that's what England do at the moment, isn't it? But do they look like potential winners? I'm not so sure. But Ali, very quick, got to give a shout out to your old mate and DR Congo. They were dancing in the streets of Kinshasa this morning. Went to the 100th minute before they got that.
What price are they, Steve-O?
I was trying to find them, actually, Kaz. I don't want to sort of take the wind out of DR Congo's fan sales.
Well, I'm going to tell you, mate.
Three figures.
My mate won't be at his work this morning across the road. I can guarantee you he'll have been celebrating like there's no tomorrow. He will not be turning up for his work this morning. No doubt about it.
It was fantastic for him. I think it all gave talkSPORT listeners an interest in that game last night. But, boys, it's the 1st of April. Watch out for any more stories written by old Chat G.
Steve-O, great stuff, pal. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Cheers,
Steve. Take care. Spurs fans, listen up. Of course, that was a look. I beg your pardon. I like to go to that. Was a look at the latest odds with Coral 18+.
The Coral Daily Download on talkSPORT with Coral. We're here for the fans this season. 18+, gambleaware.org.
And stuff, Spurs fans, listen up because you're going to hear another glowing endorsement about your new boss from Adam Lallana. Back on Thursday, Simon and Willie exchanged a fair bit of banter in the boxing hour on that day going into the fight.
I said, I think you're going to get beat, is what I said, Willie.
Is that what you said?
I did, yeah. I did. I'm happy to eat crow.
Simon, have you ever boxed a day in your life?
No, I haven't, no.
You should have no comment on boxing whatsoever. You should leave it to the boxers.
We will see.
Because you've never had a fight in your life.
We will see. And when you have an opinion on something in life that you've never done, we can have a conversation about that as well.
The only thing you can box, Simon, listen to me. The only thing you can box is box in Tesco's shopping centre. Well, that's what you can box.
Willie, if you lose that fight, you'll probably be working in there.
You shouldn't give any... Hey, but I've got plenty.
Good.
I don't need to
well,
go
let's
anywhere.
see you win.
I don't do this for the money. I do it for peace.
Good, fantastic, good. So when we see on Monday, if you've won, you'll be able to say all this. But don't lose, Willie, now. Don't lose. Whatever you do, don't lose.
But Simon, if you've never boxed a day in your life, and you've never felt a punch in your face, you should have no comment to boxing.
I'm not allowed an
ever in your
opinion.
life.
I'm not allowed an opinion.
Forget about this.
I'm not
You're
allowed
not
an
allowed
opinion.
an opinion because you've never boxed.
Okay.
You don't know.
All right. Well, hopefully my opinion will mean
you
nothing.
Keep to the
Willie.
football.
But if I'm wrong, if I'm right, Willie, you are going to eat some crow, buddy.
Well, he didn't need to eat anything because the scores were wide, 99, 91, 98, 92, 98, 92. So, Willie, you got out of that shift at Tesco on Sunday. Well done. Good morning.
Definitely.
Every spring, sports fans in Europe come together to celebrate arguably rugby's biggest annual tournament, the Six Nations. But why is it the home nations, plus France and Italy, and no one else? It all started back in 1871 when Scotland beat England in the very first international rugby match. A few years later, when they could field a team, Wales decided they'd host England and an idea was thought up. With Ireland keen, they formed the Home International Championship, which ran from 1883. In 1910, France was allowed to join, as they were developing into a serious rugby nation, and thus the Five Nations was born. France had an interesting history with the championship. They were actually booted out for paying their players in 1931, when the home nations were keen to keep it amateur. After World War II, though, France were let back in, but it remained a closed shop for more than 50 years. And when another country was let in, it was only really because the Five Nations hand had been forced. Italy was developing into a serious contender, beating Scotland, France and Ireland twice in the same year, meaning in 1999 officials got together and said yes to Italy, and it became the Six Nations. So what changes, if any, come next? 7 nations? 8? A promotion and relegation system? Or should we leave it alone and let it remain the great rugby tradition it's become?
La mer qu'on voit danser le long des golfes clairs.
Not bad, Ed. Not bad.
A des reflets d'argent, la mer.
Like that cat's beautiful. Yeah. He throws the occasional one in it, to be fair to him. It's not bad, that.
Yeah, I mean, I got into a French singer called Joe Dassin. And he was one of the big singers in France. I mean, it was Serge Gainsbourg, Charles Aznavour, and obviously Joe Dassin. And he had a really way of singing that was just unreal. You know, listening to someone's voice and very quirky, edgy.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
Typical French.
Must admit, I love my music.
Yeah, I know you do, Ali.
We've got a couple of minutes, so I'll give you. I want to hear your bar test or a game of Demeco one, right?
Right.
So we're playing. Was it Marseille? No, actually, I think it was an international game in Parc des Princes. And I'm talking first minute. Ball gets played up their left channel. I go over, and he absolutely comes in, studs.
Oh, he
does me like you've no idea. Does me like a dinner, right? And I'm lying there. It's all kicked off. Mo Johnson's into it. Everybody's into it. This is the first minute of the game. Anyway, up we go. Carry on. And I played against him with Marseille a couple of times. So he now plays in a band. Right? And it's Oasis cover band.
Oh, right.
And by the way, they're brilliant. So I get this Instagram message. Ali, Eric Demeco here. I've not spoken to him for 20 years, right? Since he decorated my shin with studs. He says, we're playing Glasgow. He says, you fancy coming along? I says, aye, Eric. As a matter of fact, I do like a boy, so I went along. So the band were brilliant. Really great night. So we're standing at the bar, having a crack. You know, I said, that was great. How long have you been doing this? Blah, blah, blah. I says, by the way, on the first time I met you, he says, when? I says, you absolutely savaged me in a tackle in the first minute at Parc des Princes. He went, no me, he says. No me. No, couldn't have been me. No way. So we're cracking on.
It definitely was him.
Cracking on for a couple of minutes. And then I think it was his lead singer in the band, had got it up on his phone and says, Eric, can I have a quick word with you? He says, what? He said, have a look at this tackle. Right? He showed him a tackle, right? And all I could hear from him was, oh, carte rouge. It should have been a carte rouge. Oh, but what a great lad. What a great lad.
Oh, no, there was some. I'll tell you a quick one on Barthez, right? I never believed this story until I knew Barthez after being at Marseille for a year or so. And obviously, when he joined Manchester United, I met him a couple of times. He went and played the Champions League final in '93. Yep. I think Fabian was about 20, so he's a very young keeper for Marseille. And on the way to the game, on the coach, the players were telling me that Barthez fell asleep, right? He fell asleep as a 20-year-old going to the Champions League final, and he fell asleep on the bus, and they had to wake him up when they got to the stadium.
No way.
And I was like, no chance. There's no way on earth that that's there. After getting to know Barthez, he definitely fell asleep.
Honestly.
Right? He could fall
asleep in the way to Champions League final.
He did. They all said it to me, and I said, he can't fall. You know, you just don't believe that would have happened. And they went, you'll see. You'll see. You know, that Barthez is a really laid-back character.
But you know something? I met him a couple of times.
Fell asleep.
I mean, that's incredible. That is arguably one of the most important games of his career.
Yeah,
ever.
when he was 20
years age.
21 max. When he played the Champions League final.
When I was 20, you had to scrape me off the ceiling.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I went to Old Trafford and he won, the year I went, he won Player of the Year for Manchester United. A lot of people forget that. He won. It was so this is, I think it was about 2001 time. And I go there and he's sitting to the supermodel. He's sitting next to the supermodel, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. Was it Linda Evangelista?
Yeah.
Elena Christensen?
Yeah. I think it was Evangelista.
I think he probably won in his arm, to be fair to him.
Yeah. But he was literally rock and roll all the time, Fabian, and very, very funny man, and just had that aura about him of being a good lad to be around. But I said, until you know somebody, when you hear a story, you go, that can't be true. He absolutely did do that. I could, after knowing him, because he fell asleep everywhere.
It's brilliant, that, honestly.
Could have been up all night, mainly.
Great, hasn't it? You loved your time in France, eh?
Yeah, I sort of, it was an incredibly lucky break, Ali. And then
some atmosphere to play in,
flying into the stadium, because you fly right over the past the stadium as you go out to the sea and then come back in. And I remember looking at the stadium thinking I'm playing football there, and then had an amazing relationship with Marseille fans. And also, I'd say just as important, I felt I'd done every bit as well at Nancy in the top flight. I scored a lot of goals for them, and that was the northeast of France.
Yeah.
But I loved it. I
always remember the atmosphere at Marseille. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we played there in effectively it was the semi-final of the first Champions League, and they played. The atmosphere was unbelievable, Cass. Did we come upstairs out the?
Yeah, you did.
Come upstairs behind one of the goals.
Do you remember the song?
Van Halen Jump.
Yeah, Van Halen Jump. How good is that?
Oh my
goodness. So that get you going.
Oh, absolutely.
I should play that at Tottenham.
Yeah, unbelievable. Come out, it was Van Halen Jump. We did really well, actually. We had 2 draws with them. And it was actually, we needed one more goal to get to the first Champions League final.
Yeah. They've had some hell of a team.
Soze scored a great goal against us. Yeah. But Luigi Arante scored an unbelievable equaliser, Cass, outside the right foot by Barthez. Game finished 1-1.
He was one of the motley crew when I first went to Glasgow, and you turned up.
He still is, mate.
Yeah, when I came out, Durant was there, you were there, Hurlock.
Hurlock. Oh, man alive. Did we love Hurlock, or did we love Hurlock?
Everybody loved Terry.
Oh, what a boy. Happy days, mate.
Oh, dear.
Brilliant. Terry was some boy, wasn't he?
He was one. Have you said to me, name one of the craziest people you've ever met in football? Hurlock's right at the top. And you know Gascoigne. Yeah. But Terry was up there with the craziest.
I loved them, mate.
But just driving from the training ground to the stadium, where we'd go back and get weighed and have a bit of lunch. Terry would always drive to glam music on the radio in a black bin liner, with the heaters on, to get a sweat to try and get his weight down in the car. And we've just done training, and we're going to the training ground to get weighed.
It was Tell that taught me and Durante the one. Brilliant. When Walter and Archie used to throw in a quick weight check, right?
Yeah.
On a Monday morning, he'd be devastated. Archie always used to come to the right-hand side, right? So if I was going the scales, Durante would come around to my left-hand side, and I'd hold up my elbow like that, and it was Tell what taught us that one, and he'd just lift my elbow up a wee bit, just a couple of pounds enough, do you know what I mean, Cass? Brilliant, happy days. Roberto De Zerbi is the one Chosen to try and guide Spurs to Premier League safety, De Zerbi becomes the division's third highest paid manager and has agreed to get rid of the relegation clause, meaning he will stay at the club should they go down in the Championship. That's good news. Premier League and Champions League winner Adam Lallana joined us an hour ago. He finished 6th with De Zerbi's Brighton. What an achievement that was in 2022. And he was very, very confident and was very buoyant about De Zerbi.
Maybe to some players it might come across slightly confusing, or if you chuck an interpreter in there as well, there's a lot of noise, but football's a common language, I think, and you can feel it when he speaks, and I think that's going to be his biggest asset going into the situation he's going into at Spurs. And I'm just glad he's taken it, because I met him I think 3-4 weeks ago. I was in Milan and we met for dinner and we were chatting, and it was still probably a bit raw for him coming out of Marseille, but I'm just so glad he's gone straight back into work, because football's a better place with him in work.
What's your gut feeling, Adam? Can he keep them up?
Definitely. Not even a doubt in my mind. Not even a doubt. I just think they're very, very fortunate. And I'm actually slightly jealous. I was speaking to a player at Spurs who was picking my brains about him, and I just know how they're going to be in for a roller coaster, but a great one.
Brilliant interview. Great stuff from Adam. You can watch the full interview back with Adam Lallana on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. Right, still to come in breakfast this morning.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Benchmarx Kitchens and Joinery. Get trade prices on kitchens to suit all styles and budgets at Benchmarx.
You're just getting a wee bit predictable now, Ed. I get it though. I get it. I see what you're doing. Our good friend, talkSPORT's good friend Aldo Zilli is on his way to discuss where on earth Italian football goes from here. Italy's become the first ever world champions to miss 3 consecutive World Cups. That in itself is just remarkable, considering they won a Euros in between it as well. The last World Cup game they won was the 2006 World Cup final, and the wait goes on. Also, double World Cup winning England cricketer Chris Woakes will be joining us. Looking forward to that, to discuss his international retirement, the future of Ben McCullum, and his very own new role. That indeed was our breakfast preview with Travis Perkins.
Superstar Breakfast preview on talkSPORT with Travis Perkins. With 250 hire branches nationwide, it's easy to hire at Travis Perkins.
Thomas Tuchel has a whole lot fewer Arsenal players than he might have imagined in the coming days, because 10 Arsenal players have now withdrawn not just from England duty but from international duty. Eze, Gabriel, Hincapié, Madueke, Rice, Saka, Saliba, Timber, Trossard, Zubimendi. 4 Arsenal players had originally pulled out of international duty at the start of last week, a day after the Carabao Cup final, a match that they lost to Manchester City. They were Gabriel with a knee injury, Saliba recurring pain in his left ankle, Trossard a hip injury, and Eze a calf problem. Now Zubimendi and Hincapié are the latest to withdraw. In fact, both Saka and Rice joined the England camp on Friday, but didn't feature in the draw with Uruguay on the same day, and now they've withdrawn. Sir Alex Ferguson used to remove players from international duty. In 2011, he described friendlies as a waste of time. Arsenal invincible Martin Keown is in our midst. Martin, are Arsenal being hit with a disastrous injury crisis, or is Arteta doing a Fergie?
Well, there's a lot of players that are injured going into this international. I hope that you're not making it as an inference that Arsenal are deliberately taking players out, because I think they're genuinely injured, Jim. So let's just go for each one. So Eze didn't make the cup final.
Do you think all of them are genuinely injured?
Odegaard didn't make the cup final. They've been disappointed.
Section's not looking good for you, Cass. I've got to say, the boys have been up to work here. It's not good, 48 Wednesday, the 1st April.
We haven't had a prank, have we?
No. Well, the attempt at one there.
That wasn't a joke. It's never been.
I mean, it's really poor. Adrian Durham's England player ratings are up on talkSPORT.com. He's been scathing as ever about the performances of Palmer, Foden, head coach Thomas Tuchel. Award them all a combined 3 out of 30. Oh man, Ed.
I feel sorry for Foden.
So do I.
I just really feel like, come on. You know, I know he's had a difficult season. Do you know what it really feels like to me? And I'm interested to see what you say on this, Ali. It feels like it's the Jack Grealish scenario again, where he's seen his mate Jack, you know, be in the City team, then be solely just pulled aside and left out more often, losing his England place or not a regular starter for England. Feels like he's sort of mimicking what happened to Jack Grealish.
It's got to be consistent.
Is that fair or?
No, I think it's very fair. I do think it's fair.
Just feel it's like a same scenario.
He's hardly played, mate.
Yeah.
You know, he's hardly played. And myself, I wanted to see Jack play a lot more. Obviously, I want to see. I mean, we're not at the training ground every morning, so we don't know what's happening, right? So he's obviously leaving them out for a reason. But
he was the Football Writers' Player of the Year 2 years ago.
Well, nobody will convince me that Phil Foden is not one of the great talents that of recent years, right? So what has happened? It does. It's amazing, and it's an incredible thing to say. But you'll know exactly what I mean. And people would scratch their heads, but it does look a little bit devoid of confidence at this moment in time.
Absolutely.
And people, football fans will go, what are you talking about? I mean, but it's amazing. Once it goes, it's difficult.
I've been there, Ali.
I know, mate.
I've been there.
Yeah.
I had it at Celtic. I mean, I'm sure I would have been a bunter the jokes at Rangers.
It's amazing, though, eh?
Yeah. I had a terrible time at Celtic, and I've always owned it, but I don't know why it was so bad. I just played my worst football, and I lost total belief in my game at that time.
And that's hard to get back, mate.
It was a big challenge, yeah.
It's very, very hard to get back. It really, really is. And I'm genuinely worried. I mean, Phil Foden at this moment in time, I don't think he's on the plane, mate.
But you have to have a manager that totally believes in you and have someone who really still feels you can be some player for them. Because I think when Pep makes a decision about you, that's it. And if you start getting left out more often than not, like Sane and like when he first arrived with Joe Hart and others, that once you're gone, that's it.
Do you think one of the things that's going against Phil Foden right now in terms of the City thing is because of the squad? See if he was a great player and he was somewhere that didn't have a squad, like City and Arsenal, I think of the biggest and best squads, right? If he's another club where he was kind of forced to get more game time. He'd be forced to play, and he could play his way out.
I was going to say, play through it. It doesn't happen, does it? It's not going to happen.
No, but it did nowadays.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And no one played brilliantly every week, week in, week out.
No chance. Anyway, you're not getting away with it, mate, because the boys have been digging up your past, Cass. No newspaper ratings, but video game championship manager in 1994. Right? I'm going to break. I have to inform you. I think they've been incredibly harsh on you, mate. a 30-year-old Tony Cascarino.
32 at 94.
All right. You were given 4 out of 20 for passing. That's harsh. I mean, that's Adrian Durham's marking that, isn't it?
That's quite good for me. Passing? I wasn't passing.
No, but 4 out of you've got to get more than 4 out of 20.
I led the lineup. I led the lineup at my best.
You can link up, bring people in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, yeah. I didn't at Selwick. I didn't link in anybody. No, look.
You're getting a 2 out of 20 for tackling, by the way, which is 2 more than I'd have got.
I was going to say, tackling. What about heading?
19? By the way, different class, no.
I wouldn't
18.
18?
Aye.
Oh, yeah. I'm tired. That's a bit harsh.
18 out of 20 is brilliant, man.
Yeah, no, that was my biggest attribute. Yeah,
I've got to say to you right now, you've got 4 out of 20 for passing, 2 out of 20 for tackling. I'm probably getting roughly the same for those two. You're getting 18 out of 20 for heading. I'm still doing it to 4 and 2s for heading, man. Honestly, this is an absolute shambles.
That's Adrian Darrow, man, when he was a kid.
Move on quickly. It's now time for a bit of this.
Time to
He's away again. Ah, dear, Italy had to kiss a World Cup dreams goodbye last night, falling at the final hurdle and lose 4-1 in penalties to Bosnia and Herzegovina. Ahead of the game, Italian players were seen celebrating drawing Bosnia over Wales. I know that was not a good look, but it would soon come back to bite them as they missed out on a third World Cup in a row. We're delighted, absolutely thrilled to say we're now joined by our good friend at talkSPORT, Chef Aldo Zilli. Aldo, thanks for taking the time to join us. The first thing I've got to say to you, mate, a very good morning to you, and you are sporting your country's colours, as so you should, my friend.
I haven't taken them off yet. I slept with it. Listen, I don't even know why I'm doing this, because I've been crying all night, so I don't know why I'm even talking to you lot about Italy this morning. Italy, Bosnia, they were better than us. They were more aggressive. They played better football. They have an old striker that always comes up in the big occasion. And they played at home. They made it very difficult for the Italians. We changed our formation because of the red card, and we had all the chances that you can have in a game. We didn't take them. We got punished, and rightly so.
Aldo, tell us, because me and Ali can't understand how Italian football, and we also associate it with club football as well, has deteriorated to where we are today, where you can go 3 World Cup tournaments and not be there.
Well, the reason is obvious. Italian Serie A have a very few Italian players coming up, and the under-21 team is probably better than the first team at the moment, but we have to wait another 10 years for them. I think it's because, I don't think it's because of that, but it is because of that, because, a team like Como, for example, hasn't got one Italian player in it. They've been criticised heavily. And a lot of other teams in Italy, we're not, the academies are not producing. The Primavera are not producing. I've been there because my son was at Como, so I know what goes on in the background. It's not happening, and until that changes, the football's not happening. And to be fair, even if we had gone to the World Cup, we would have been on maybe our first plane back. So just like yourselves.
Was that directed at England or Scotland there, Aldo?
Ireland. Listen, Ireland. You're there.
Both. Aldo, speaking of one of the three who will be going to watch his country at the World Cup, Aldo. I'm going to ask. I mean, what is?
All right.
What is the next step, Aldo? Because inevitably there'll be calls for, Gattuso's head. My wee mate Rino Gattuso, who I played with at Rangers, a brilliant lad. There'll be calls for his head. There'll be calls for changing the players. But as you correctly say, mate, it does go a lot deeper than that.
Yeah, let me tell you about Rino Gattuso. Fantastic man, very, very passionate. He's like a bruiser. He's very, like he played, he's managing. Unfortunately, we don't really believe that he's going to take Italy forward to win anything, because I don't know whether his football that he wants to play fits the boys he's got.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of mummy's boys that are not the Gattuso era.
Yeah.
And the Chiellini and the people around him, the Bonucci, the people that he's surrounded himself with, they're all very passionate people, very passionate players. They've won everything in their life. The new generation, mate, isn't the same. Sorry, it's not the same, and it's not going to happen. I think they need to change the whole thing, the whole background, the whole
infrastructure,
the whole manager and the whole structure needs to go. We need fresh start, and it's got to happen now. Before we start playing for the European Cup.
Aldo, listen, mate, we wish you all the best. Obviously, we feel for you, and indeed your fellow countrymen and countrywomen, but we really do appreciate you taking the time to come on and join us this morning, mate. Good luck. Look after yourself. Thanks again for your time.
No, good luck. Good luck to you too.
Aldo.
You are in it.
Absolutely,
you're in it to win it. You won, but you were in it to win it.
Thanks, Aldo. In it to win it. Yeah, I'm the eternal optimist. I would say we're in it for 3 games at least anyway. But Aldo, great to talk to you. Yeah, take care, mate. Here's a question for you guys. Thanks very much, mate. Really appreciate it. An interesting one. I'm going to re-chat. How many of the current England players would get into the 2004 or 2006 teams? Give us a call also. Give your views on that. 03717 22 3344. An interesting one. This is the 4th shortest reign of any Premier League manager. Just 5 days longer than Ange Forrest and 35 longer than 9-day Tudor Queen Lady Jane Grey. Oh no, you're taking a mickey now. And for a bit more context, it's thought that the average human would be able to walk from London to the heart of the Swiss Alps in such time as Tudor has been in charge. I want to know who worked that one out. We're going to take a call on somebody that's called 03717 223344. It's Eli. Eli, very good morning to you. Thanks for taking the time to call us this morning. Is this the right thing that's happened, Eli?
Yeah, good morning. Talking about Tottenham Hotspur now, my club that I've supported over maybe 50 odd years.
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, picking the manager, I'm not sure which type of manager you want for the next 7 games, but I don't think it would hurt for a massive football reset, a Tottenham Hotspur reset, to actually go down.
That's a heck of a statement to make, Eli, because I don't think there's any guarantees you can back up, mate. Are you saying you could go down, spend a couple of years down there, rebuild and come back up? Is that what you're saying?
Ali, yeah, good morning.
Aguero
Solskjaer, Deeney, Watkins. Sure, you know all about those last-minute goals, but have you heard the one about the on-loan goalkeeper who saved his temporary employers from disappearing out the Football League and into almost certain financial oblivion? Back in 1999, Carlisle United, managed by Nigel Pearson, were fighting to stay in the Football League. Carlisle's finances were precarious with a capital P that season, leading to a scenario where, with 3 games to go, they had to ask the FA to sanction an emergency loan deal to bring in a goalkeeper. Swindon Town's Jimmy Glass arrived at the club. His efforts in his first 2 games earned the Cumbrians 2 draws. Those vital points meant that Carlisle went into their final game of the Division 3 season, now League 2, needing to beat mid-table Plymouth Argyle in front of their own fans and hope their relegation rival Scarborough didn't win against Peterborough at home. The game at the McCain Stadium finished 1-1, and with the same scoreline at Brunton Park deep into injury time, Scarborough's fans invaded the pitch en masse, believing their Football League status was secure, convinced they'd done enough to stay up. However, there'd be one more plot twist. Carlisle won a corner in the dying seconds, and up came Jimmy Glass. In one of those you couldn't make it up moments, Glass scored from a rebounded header and was promptly swamped by teammates and thousands of fans who quite simply couldn't believe what they'd just witnessed. As for Jimmy Glass, he became an overnight celebrity, but he never played for Carlisle again, and his playing career never really kicked on after that defining moment. He took on various jobs outside of football before finding his way back into the sport as player liaison officer at Eddie Howe's Bournemouth, and most recently the general manager at non-league Wimborne. Not the fairy tale ending to one of the most Hollywood moments in football, but the name Jimmy Glass will live on forever as the scorer of that goal, arguably the most important in any club's history.
Right, very good morning. It's Wednesday, April 1st, 5 minutes past 9. Jack's been on in Manchester. I think we might have got this one wrong, unless Jack's got it wrong. He said he's given the research team a bit of stick, and so he should have, this is correct, because he said Italy have won a game at the World Cup since 2006. We need to check that. He says they beat, I think it was 2014 the game that won, so we can check that one.
Yeah.
So sincere apologies. I mean, the Italians, they did beat England, actually. They did beat England. So we're not only giving it to the Italian fans, we're even making up false statements about them. So apologies about that.
Now, it's not taking away how disappointing a period this is for Italian.
Do you know what I love about it? And you know what I mean here, Cass? I love the fact Aldo's come on there. He's got his shirt on.
Yeah.
And you can actually still see and hear the disappointment. Yeah. It's amazing what football does.
Well, he's double bubble. He's getting it because he's a Chelsea fan as well.
Of course.
And I know he is because I've spoke to him about it, Aldo, and he's really upset with the goings on at Chelsea as well. So he's got Chelsea in Chelsea in Italy in the similar vein, you know.
Unbelievable. Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast. Arnold Clark browse the UK's best used car deals and score your dream car today. Check out the website for more details. Big Cass and Ali with you this morning. We are thoroughly enjoying it. If you're just tuning in, here's what you've missed. After yet another dismal performance from England last night, fans have been getting cold feet ahead of this summer's tournament. One of those
incredibly, our very own Adrian Durham.
Some seriously talented, creative players, and they didn't turn up. Rodgers didn't play particularly well. Cole Palmer was awful, gave the ball away from the goal for the goal and didn't chase back. And then you've got Phil Foden, who we put a non-goal scoring attacking player in a centre forwards kind of position and expected him to score goals. He's not been in form. He's not even been playing in the big games for Manchester City. So quite why we put that on Phil Foden, I don't know. He's had a chance and he's not taken it.
Okay, on brighter news for Tottenham fans, after the confirmation of De Zerbi, we had a right good chat with Adam Lallana this morning.
I always compared him with Jurgen, actually, probably just the passion that they both possess for the game. I think kind of tactically and game model-wise, they're completely different. But in terms of like love and passion for football, they're exactly the same.
Incredible. It's a good piece, that, wasn't it? He was really in good form, Adam. I've got to say, and after a draw against Uruguay, defeat against Japan, we are asking whether a number of the England players actually, instead of before the couple of games looking to get them into the World Cup squad, perhaps one or two of them have played themselves out of the squad. Cass, it's really interesting. We mentioned it before. We're talking about like Palmer, Foden. They've not exactly done themselves a lot of favours, have they?
Yeah, well, and also what matters more is even for Kobbie Mainoo, with the goal and the way the goal is scored, and
it's a bad look, isn't it?
It's a bad look because obviously, look, Cole Palmer loses the ball in midfield, and then the player skips past Kobbie Mainoo, and then they head towards the left side, and then the player that is skipped past him ends up getting into the box, and Cobbie's sort of jogging, and that you can't be in that scenario. You've got to be getting back at full pelt to make sure that ball, when it gets squared, you're there to intercept it. And he doesn't do it. So from a coach and a tactical perspective, someone's going to question you on that. Yeah. Why didn't you recover and follow or track your runner?
What were you like in your own box defensively?
Well, I was pretty useful because I defended near post corners. I was always told.
Believe it or not, when I was going the front post there, a big Woodsy, Chris Woods initially, and Gorham. And it's amazing, Chris. I used to take an incredible responsibility defensively. I hated somebody maybe getting in front and getting a flick on.
Yeah, I used to attack everything. And look, it's funny because I asked before an international, my first game under Jack, about who I pick up. And he just said, because there was nothing on the board. You know, you get the board with all who's picking up who.
Of course.
He just said, pick a big one up.
Is that right?
And I laughed. And he said, yeah, that's what I do in my teams. Big ones pick up big ones and little ones pick up little ones. We never conceded a goal. You look at, but we had some great headers of the ball from Kevin Moran, Mick McCarthy, and others. We had really good headers of the ball. Even forwards, Frank Sabler can defend from headers. Noel Quinn, myself. We were very capable from balls coming into the 18-yard box.
Exact same, mate. I mean, I played with some great goalies. Gorham was a fantastic goalie, and effectively didn't really need to come for cross balls.
No. Well, Packy Bonner was our goalkeeper, and Packy had full faith in us being able to deal with a set piece.
The centre-backs, Terry Butcher and Richard Goff.
Oh, yeah, they're two of the best. Well, Butcher was one of the best, wasn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Now, an interesting one, right? We were handed a sheet, you and I. 2006 side feature players who were at near the peak of their powers at their respective clubs, right? It's an interesting one. I'm looking at that 2006. Robinson, Neville, Ferdinand, Terry, Cole, Hargreaves, Gerrard, Lampard, Beckham, Cole, Rooney, no mention of Scholes there, and you look at 2026, right? Now, it's impossible, and sometimes you shouldn't do it, but comparisons inevitably get made. And you're right, you got a point to make.
Yeah, well, the one thing I don't like about the comparisons, I think it's really unfair on the present-day players, is the fact that these are all players that have established their career and won loads. Yeah. So if you look at, say, someone like Wayne Rooney, Wayne's won 5 Premier Leagues. Correct. He's up against probably, you look at Harry Kane, you look at Wayne, it's just an opinion. Who would pick who? Who would you go for? If I said to you, Harry Kane or Wayne Rooney?
Well, see, the interesting thing is, right, I would play... I mean, we can't do it because we're picking one from each. I would play the two of them. See if we're picking our best 11 out of all those players, I think the two of them start.
Yeah.
Right? But if I've got one right now, crikey.
What about the first two? Let's go to goalkeepers. Who'd you go out of Robinson and Pickford?
Oh, that's tough. But I'd probably go Pickford.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Right back, Gary Neville or Reece James?
Reece James is fit. I'd go Reece James.
Yeah, I would. I would. And look, Gary had an incredible career. I think the two centre-halves, I would, is Rio Ferdinand and John Terry.
All day
over John Stones and Mark Gay. But again, it's unfair because Mark Gay, he's still at the early period of his career.
He might go on to do great things. Left back is the perfect example of what you're saying.
Yeah, Ashley Cole, Nico O'Reilly.
I think Cole might be one of the best left backs he's ever produced.
I think Stuart Pearce and Cole have been tremendous, as players, and two outstanding left backs, but they're pretty close.
Fantastic.
But Nico O'Reilly's at the very start of his career.
Of course he is.
And he's a real talent, you can see.
He is going to go on to have some career of that. There is
then what about this one then? Because this is an early one. Owen Hargreaves versus Elliot Anderson.
I'm going for Hargreaves, just because of the conversation that we've had.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think Owen had a fantastic career. You look at what he's achieved, United, Bayern Munich, things like that. And Elliot Anderson, I think, is on
trajectory. Yeah.
He's in the ascendancy.
Steven Gerrard, Declan Rice.
Wow. I mean,
that's as tough as any of them.
That's.
I mean,
the two toughest are Gerrard, Rice, and Rooney and Kane, I think.
Yeah. So, Gerrard and Rice is a tough one. I mean, look, Steven.
But getting back to my point, I think the two of them play in your team.
Yeah.
If you're
playing both, yes. So then you've got Frank Lampard and Jude Bellingham. Frank Lampard, obviously an incredible goal-scoring record. Jude's done brilliantly well, but he's still a relatively young man. And Lampard was the ultimate goal-scoring machine from midfield.
Incredible. I mean, absolutely unbelievable.
What a finisher he was.
Yes.
One thing that always stood out for me with Lampard was when he was, and obviously he had the perfect, player to play, not alongside, but would join, was Didier Drogba. And Didier Drogba, a lot of time, was the foil for Lampard to make runs.
Perfect for him.
And Lampard was a bit like David Platt as a finisher. David Platt was an incredibly good finisher.
I was going to ask you the next question here. Lampard, potentially the best midfield finisher you've ever seen?
Yes, without doubt. His goal numbers tell you that.
Incredible.
He's close to the sort of Bobby Charlton type of finisher. And Charlton obviously was a completely different era, but Charlton was a fantastic goal scorer. Lampard is that type of finisher. I would say out of all the midfielders, he might not have had the qualities of some of the others, but finishing, absolutely top-notch.
Beckham, Saka?
Saka's on that journey again, but I think Beckham, again, how many titles did Beckham win? And going to Real Madrid. So, yeah, tough one. And who are we left with? We got Joe Cole, Anthony Gordon. Cole, yeah.
I'm going for Joe because I'm seeing him on Saturday. Yeah. It's as simple as that. I don't think I'll see Anthony for a couple of weeks.
Was it Southend when he got the bad injury? He played Southend away, and I think it's Southend, and he had Joe was never quite the same, and he was an unreal talent.
He had a great period in France as well. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, no, he was at Lille. Yeah, he was at Lille. Yeah, wasn't he one of the ones who talked about Eden Hazard, about what a player was in training? Because I remember talking about Eden Hazard to someone, and someone said, "Do you know Joe Cole said the same thing when he was there, because he was there as a young lad, Eden Hazard." But Joel was he was the sort of magician type of player.
Some talent.
Yeah.
A kind of throwback, wasn't he?
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure in my head that he got a really serious injury at Southend, and he was never quite the same.
Mm.
Mike Owen had the terrible hamstring injury, and he was never quite the same. And obviously some of these players have had severe injuries along the way.
Some great players,
yeah.
I knew that would be good. I
think you'd lean on the 2006 team as having a bit more, but they're all established and got, Wayne Rooney's won 5 titles, Manchester United Premier League titles.
Oh, it's unbelievable. So did we side between Wayne and Harry Kane?
No, I'm like you. I'm playing the pair of them. I'm changing my team to play the two of them.
You're playing the two of them and you're playing Rice and Gerrard.
Yeah. Who'd you leave out then?
You threw. I'm going to go to a break, man. It's 9:50. There's people shouting. I don't mind coming back for a full England camp debrief which sees our team select the starting 11s for England World Cup opener. Make sure you tune into the latest episode of the talkSPORT Daily Podcast with former England captain Stuart Pearce, Adrian Durham and Jim Proudfoot, available on all podcast platforms now. Speaking of British Cruiserweight former champion, hopefully soon once again champion, Pat Brown.
Do you trust the Spurs ownership to get this next appointment right?
Do I trust the Spurs ownership? I don't know. Do I rate the Spurs ownership?
Well, you said you're not sure that you know what they're doing.
It's not for me to trust them because I don't care about their judgment. But do I rate their judgment? Well, not at this moment in time, because the body of work that they've produced is poor. They weren't responsible for the appointment of Thomas Frank, so it's an irrelevance, that question, because Daniel Levy made that appointment. The fact that he fired him, the fact that was an inevitability and forecast by me 2 or 3 months earlier isn't a surprise. The fact that they've in my mind, they've got 2 people that are number 2s in business, running the business and making decisions with outside influences that sit on their board that don't have any football knowledge, in my view, making decisions, has brought out outcomes that would make anybody go, well, I don't really rate their thinking. As far as De Zerbi is concerned, he's a decent manager. He comes with his own baggage, like most of them do. He did a decent job at Brighton. He was an ungrateful little wretch when he departed because he decided to have a broadside at the owner of the football club that spent enormous amounts of time giving him an opportunity and backing him. Just because you lost a game in Europe doesn't really entitle you to have a broadside at your ownership model. But that's what he does, and that's what you get. Now, for him, taking Tottenham Hotspur, I think there's all upside for him. This is a huge football club. Irrespective if it gets relegated or not, my balance of probabilities, it will bounce back again. And it'll be priced into people's thinking. If he takes the Tottenham job because of the size of that football club and the scale of it, then there will always be a dispensation if they were to be relegated, because it wouldn't be on his watch, really. He can't be responsible for less than 20% of the season, producing an outcome that ultimately has already been seeded in the previous 80%. He might get them close and go down and do what Benitez did, which is bring them back up again.
Lining this morning, Paul, isn't it?
I can't believe it's 9:20 already. Yeah.
Magic. Really enjoyed it, Paul. This is talkSPORT Breakfast, Wednesday the 1st of April, 20 minutes past 9. Ali and Big Cass, I said, with you this morning. This Saturday an icon will fall as Derek Chisora collides with the bronze bomber, Deontay Wilder. So let's look ahead to the big fight now with the Zone.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with The Zone. Watch Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder this Saturday, only on The Zone. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Some great fights at the moment, and that's another fight that's going to be tremendous to watch. Elsewhere, Pat Brown will bid to build his budding reputation as a cruiserweight contender against Vasyl Dukar this Friday night. He facing him back in the place where his career began, in Altrincham, and hopes he can be the first of many building up to a major title challenge. For more on this, I'm delighted to say that we're joined by the man himself. Pat, very good morning. How are you?
Hi, Pat.
I'm all good, thank you. How are you two?
Listen, we're in top form, mate. The one thing that I left out in your CV, mate, is that you're the current undisputed talkSPORT punch machine record holder. How are you feeling about that, mate? That's the only reason you're that is, mate, because I've not had a go at it yet.
Yeah, well, that's the one, yeah. I didn't know we're still at the top, to be fair.
Oh, you're still at the top, and I think you might be there for some time, mate. Listen, in all seriousness, how are you feeling? How you looking forward to, I'm imagining?
Yeah, I can't wait now. Obviously, we've got the weigh-in tomorrow, And then obviously it's fight night. So usually fight week, you go to the hotel and stuff. But as it's in Manchester, I'm still at home at the moment. But I am going to the hotel tonight and locking in. So it's been a chilled fight week. I've enjoyed, just being in my comforts, to be fair. And today is the day where I'm going to start locking in. This is where all the media's come in, and I'll be squaring off with my opponent later on, and all the press conferences, and obviously getting ready for the weigh-in.
So how do you find when you say squaring up, how do you conduct yourself? Because you see some boxers, Pat, that, obviously get pretty emotional and quite dramatic. Are you pretty calm and cool on match day?
Yeah, I would say so, definitely. My debut, obviously, this time last year, when I was squaring off with him, because it was quite regular, I was only used to squaring off with my opponent as an amateur when I'm in the ring ready to fight. So, like, that first professional debut time, it was quite hard in the week, constantly squaring off with him, because I would go into a certain zone where I would get quite a lot of adrenaline. My leg would be shaking a little bit because I'm ready to go at him. But I've started to calm down a little bit now, and they're just natural emotions that you get from having 80-odd fights as an amateur and obviously boxing for your country. So now I see it more as what it is, and I kind of know how the fight weeks work, and I'm a lot more experienced. So yeah, now I just see it for what it is, and I'm dead calm.
Pat, tell me, it's probably dangerous to look too far ahead, but obviously things go your way at the weekend. I'm looking at João Apatia stripped of his IBF crown. Would that be an obvious next fight for you, or are your plans to move up to heavyweight? What are you just taking it kind of one step at a time?
Yeah, my eyes, it's one step at a time. Obviously, in the world of boxing, when you're knocking people out and stuff like that, you get a lot of hype behind you. And my aim is just I'm 26 years of age. I don't want to take baby steps, because I don't believe I've took baby steps so far in my career. I've always got in there with winning records and people who want to rock the boat. And obviously I'm stepping in with Vasil Duka, who's an experienced operator, and just my sixth fight. And once again, I'm headlining. So I've had the pressure on my shoulders, and I think that's because I'm showing that I can handle it. That's why they want to push me on to bigger and better fights. And listen, I'm all for the bigger and better fights, but it's got to make sense, and it's got to be the right time, because how many boxers do you know that have rushed it and then they've gone back 10 steps?
Tell us, Pat, you always get highly rated boxers that are coming through, and there's always an exception. Someone like John Hedges, would you prepare to take him on as a potential fighter?
100%, yeah. I wanted to fight him for this fight in Altrincham Ice Rink. I wanted to do the traditional route. I wanted to get the English title, then the British title, and so on. But for political reasons, like money and stuff, I think they wanted more money, even though they were getting quite a lot of money just for an English title fight. And yeah, there was just too much back and forth. So yeah, that's why that didn't happen. But I did want that fight, definitely. I don't shy away from anyone.
Pat, we're getting some great fights of that. There is no, that's not up for debate. Big one at the weekend, Moses Achalma. Yeah, I'm guessing you, like everybody else in this moment in time, have been really impressed of what we're seeing.
Oh yeah, 100%. I know Moses. I remember on my last GB assessment, I sparred him, and Rob McCracken was watching, and that was like my last sort of a training session. And yeah, I shared some rounds with him, and then it was really good sparring. And when I was boxing for my second national title, and he was boxing for the Europeans, we got some working again together, because we sparred so well. So even then, he was very good.
That's incredible, Pat, isn't it? Because there's a lot of boxers you hear and you talk to, and they mention that they've sparred already. They know these boxers, just not training, but just also getting in the ring and doing rounds with them. This happens a lot, all different weights.
Yeah, definitely, especially your experienced amateur kids as well, because the English Institute of Sport in Sheffield, you should see the place. The gym's
I've been there, it's great.
Yeah, you've got so many rings and stuff, and you see all your top of your range fighters from the UK going through the system, whether that's through the England programme or the Great Britain programme. And you see all the well-known talent. So it's even, I already know a few lads who are on the squad now, and I know we were going to be pricking people's ears up. So that was the same with Moses, as I knew, when he turns over pro, he's going to be something. And that's what they said about me as well. I had that sort of pro style. So you kind of see it before it all unfolds.
Pat, you've got clearly more important things on at the weekend, and wish you all the very, very best. But I've got to ask you as well about Chisora versus Deontay Wilder, which is in O2 on Saturday night. Both men, not surprisingly, but coincidentally, are having their 50th fight of their professional careers. How do you see that going, mate?
Derek Chisora for me. I think Tyson Fury, they were the best days of Deontay Wilder, and Fury's took his soul. So I believe Chisora will be too strong, too aggressive, and you've seen in his last fights and that he's still got that aggression and hunger in him, whereas I don't think Wilder's got it.
Pat, listen, mate, take this opportunity to wish you all the best from everybody at talkSPORT. Hope it goes your way and continued success to you, mate.
Good luck, Pat.
Thank you very much. I'll speak to you soon, yeah?
Look forward to it, mate. Thanks very much.
Bye-bye.
A man that represented Great Britain Olympics, former cruiserweight champ Pat Brown there. Big fight for him on the weekend. Hope he does well.
Yeah, look, the heavyweights. Look, what's Pat? 26, 25, 20, yeah. 26 years old. You got someone like Moses Atoma, 21. Got some young talent coming through. And then there's the experienced heavyweights.
Oh, really experienced.
Yeah.
Wilder, Usyk,
Chisora, yeah.
AJ, they're all getting to that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting to that age. The new boys are ready to come in, mate. That was a look ahead to Chisora versus Wilder with DAZN. And don't forget, you can watch it live this Saturday, of course, only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Big fight build-up on talkSPORT with DAZN. Watch Derek Chisora versus Deontay Wilder this Saturday, only on DAZN. Buy now at DAZN.com.
Friday night, England drew 1-1 with Uruguay. Ben White making his first appearance for his country since he walked out at the Qatar 2022 World Cup camp due to a reported falling out with the then assistant Steve Holland. So, Ben White on Friday night, Martin, a bit of an eventful night for Ben, to put it mildly. He gets booed when he put the ball in the back of the net, and he gave away the penalty in the 94th minute to see the game finish 1-1. And he was booed as he came off. Jonathan Norcroft in the Times, it's an angry world and modern football crowds exhibit it. But booing a player after scoring for your country is still difficult to comprehend. Supporters do need to hear Ben White express some sort of regret. White is shy, but it's not too much to ask him to talk. We didn't hear from Ben, but we heard from Tuchel on the booze.
Disappointed if our players are booed. I understood that it happened before to players and they went through it and took it on the chin. Still, I don't like it. Still, I'm disappointed. I will always protect my players. He did so well in training and he almost scored for us, so it could have been a perfect comeback. But it was mixed reactions. It was not only boos, some cheered, so let's hope we put this behind us.
Martin, Jonathan Norcroft in the Times were saying that maybe if he's going to continue his international career, Ben White, he should explain himself.
Boxing. It's a sport that makes multi-millionaires out of the world's best fighters, but it's not as flush with cash as you'd think. We all see how much the likes of Tyson Fury or Canelo Alvarez make every fight, but that's not the case for those just starting out, or those who aren't even at that level. For example, if you've just turned pro and don't have a promoter, you have to sell your own tickets, cover the cost of the venue yourself, and pay the taxman at the end of it. You might not even break even, but if you do, you're looking at 5 to 10 grand max. A mid-tier fighter might make more like 10 to 50 grand, but you still have to give up half of that in costs. So unless you're fighting for a world title, it's tough to make money. One potential way of doing it, though, is being a journeyman. Here's former European champion talkSPORT's Spencer Oliver explaining how that could work.
They want to fight every week, and they can be going in against the prospects, so they can demand good money, and they might be demanding like 5 grand, 10 grand for a 6-rounder or something, because they're going in with a prospect. He gets through that, the journeyman gets through that fight, and he can fight again next week.
I mean, even so, it's not much, and you're getting punched in the face for a job. It's only really at the top level, i.e. fighting for titles, where you're earning up to 6 figures and can afford a diamond chain or that Ferrari. So boxing isn't a sport that allows you to retire at 40 and live a life of luxury. Much like a lot of other sports and jobs in general, it takes an awful lot of luck quite early in your career to really make it worth your while.
Okay, we're in the home straight. What are you looking at up there? What's up?
It's Bosnia. Fans going crazy.
Yes. And you know something, I'm going to give him a special mention. I think I said to you, he's on the coaching staff at Bosnia, Sasa Papac. He played left back for us. He was a brilliant player. One of these underrated boys. You know, you just hang your hat on him. You know he's going to give you an 8 out of 10 every week.
Yeah.
A brilliant lad. And I'm disappointed I'm for Italy. I am so pleased for Sasa Papac and Bosnia. It's great, isn't it? Because we all know people from different places.
Yes, exactly. You meet different players from different countries, Ali, and along the way. But we've talked a lot about Italian football, but we haven't given enough praise for Bosnia.
Correct.
Who've got through.
Correct.
You know, and deservedly so.
Absolutely. And by the way, with 10 minutes to go, they're out in Cardiff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, of course. Don't. I mean, look, Czech Republic or Czechia, whoever we were going to call them, they did a similar thing. They were out of it with minutes to go.
Dead and buried, and then all of a sudden
we lose out.
Isn't that amazing?
You know.
Okay, here's a nice one as well. I'm going to read you this one, Cass. Alan Cass, this is from Ali in Perth. I'm a Hibs supporter from Perth. I want to give a shout out to Rocky Bashiri of Hibs, who will be going to the World Cup with the DR Congo. And there's great wee stories. Absolutely. And Ali was saying he also went to the greatest ever World Cup in his opinion, 1990. I don't disagree with that. And was in the Luigi Ferrari Stadium in Genoa with an Irish mate when you beat Romania in penalties.
Yeah, that was a great day.
Oh, I remember.
That was fun. Well, you know, Christa Berg, the singer, he come in and sang Lady in Red. You know,
no way.
The Woman in Red, isn't it? It's the woman.
No, Lady in Red.
Lady in Red. That's
Lady
it.
in Red.
He came to the hotel and sang it live. And
seriously?
Yeah.
By the way, that must have been a tough audience. That.
Yeah,
hey?
We were all there. Tough audience. It was about 3 a.m. No one cared if he sang the Lady in Blue.
Oh, brilliant, man.
No one cared.
I remember wee Andy Cameron, brilliant wee Andy, Scottish comedian.
Can I just ask you one quick one? Would you say that it's the greatest World Cup because the final was really poor?
It was pure final. Of course it was.
And you know, you judge a World Cup on the final as well.
Well, not necessarily.
No,
I don't. Okay. It's a massive part of it.
Yeah.
I mean, the 1994 World Cup was really poor as well, if I remember.
And the final as well, yeah.
But I do take your point, but I can only take it from how I felt watching it and being in it and involved in it. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I know.
It was unbelievable. Yes, a poor final. I'm giving you that.
Just the final. I always look at '86 as one of the great ones. 1970 was my first World Cup as a kid, a young boy.
82, man.
82, yeah. And Brazil getting knocked out by Italy.
I know. And who can forget Tardelli? Face when he scored that second goal.
Yeah.
And away he went. Remember that? Away he went.
Yeah, 2002.
Quick question. Who missed a penalty for Italy?
Oh.
At nothing each. There you go.
Oh, I don't know.
Cabrini, left full
Oh,
back.
okay. I would never have got that.
Okay, this is talkSPORT Breakfast with Arnold Clark. There's over 20,000 used cars online to choose from, so they will have the car for you, Cass. Ali and Big Cass for you this morning. Right. It was announced recently that Brendan McCullum will continue in his role as England head coach. Chris Woakes was a huge part of the Bazball era, firing England back from 2-0 down to level the 2023 Ashes series, winning Player of the Series in the process. Chris retired at the end of the song with his final test match, walking out to bat with an arm in a sling to save the test match. But little did he know that this would change cricket forever. Because here you go, starting Friday, when the county championship gets back underway, teams will be allowed to replace players mid-match if injured, which kind of makes sense to me. I'm absolutely delighted to say England legend Chris Woakes joins us now. A very good morning. Chris, how are you, mate?
Hi, Chris.
Yeah, good morning, lads. Morning,
Who would have thought, Chris, who would have thought that injured shoulder, that injured arm would have such a defining change in cricket?
I know. It's a weird one because I've grown up watching and obviously playing a whole career with the situation as it is, where if you go down injured, whether it be a calf strain or a dislocated shoulder, whatever it is, you obviously just tough luck and you play with 10 men. So it's going to be a little bit strange, the fact that there's the potential chance to sub someone in if there's a severe injury or personal issues or personal reasons or whatever it is. But a bit of a strange one, but the game moves forward.
Well, here's my question for you, and it's probably the old cynic in me, Chris, right? But could there be a case of perhaps the coach saying to one of the players, you've got an injured hamstring, and he says, no, I haven't, and the coach says, I think you'll find you do have an injured hamstring.
Yeah, if you get that tap on the shoulder, it might be time to give it a day, I think, call it a day. But
coming from a man that was well versed in the substitutes bench, it's just the old cynic in me, Chris. That's all it is, mate.
Well, I mean, do you think, though, Chris, along the way that, football obviously started with one substitution. What will happen? Do you think cricket will go down a similar road of over the years it evolves and we end up 3 subs, 4 subs, and, where we are in football now, you can have, 7 now?
Yeah, well, they've tried super subs in the past where you can move one player in and one player out, not necessarily in the 4 or 5 day game, but in the white ball formats. And I don't think it ever really quite took off and it didn't quite work. It felt like it made the game a little bit of a farce in a weird way. And then obviously they got the impact rule in impact sub within the IPL at the minute, which causes a few headaches. You kind of have a bowling 11 and a batting 11. So I'm a bit of a traditionalist. I like the fact that it's just 11v11 and you crack on and you dictate conditions and you pick your 11 and that's it, and you go on. But you never know, mate. The game always evolving, isn't it? We've seen it in football, and there might be a case of that in the future.
Chris, tell me, mate, obviously with the fallout to the disappointment in the Ashes series and things like that, were you a little bit surprised that there was nobody really, no fall guy for it in terms of, Rob Key, McCullum or Stokes, things like that? A, were you surprised at that? Or B, were you quite happy with the lads to continue?
Firstly, I was happy they didn't make a change. But I was surprised. I thought that there would be a head or two that rolls. It's usually the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially after a poor Ashes series, you don't always tend to get away with it. So I think they could count themselves a little bit lucky in that sense. But I also think it's the right decision. I think we've moved forward well in the last 3 years. I know they haven't gone on and won a big series, which is probably the one thing that eludes them a little bit. But I think the team is moving in the right direction. I think now, obviously, what it looked like in Australia, they didn't commit to a style, which is unfortunate because they had committed to a style prior to that. And obviously you get to a big series and it doesn't quite go your way and you don't perform as well as you'd like. Obviously, there's always a review and there's always, things that you're going to have to change and the team's going to have to adapt.
See that, mentioning management and the, heads can roll, scapegoats, all of these type of terminology. Do you think any of the players, any change there, or do you think that will be loyal again? What's happened with the management team?
I mean, I think there's a core group of players that will obviously stay. But I think you start a new county season, and I think more so than ever, they'll be looking at county cricket than they have done in the last few years, for people to put their hands up, put some pressure on the current crop of players, which I always think is a good thing. That was always the case that I felt throughout, particularly the majority of my career, is county cricket had a big say on who played for England, and that hasn't been the case so much in the last few years. But I think it's always good to have that pressure from behind. Players coming up from the county game, putting you under pressure, and that always increases your performance, and kind of shows who can actually handle that pressure, I suppose, as well, which is always a good thing. And competition for places is what the team probably needs at the minute.
Yeah, couldn't disagree with that. Obviously, you're back in the Warwickshire shot for the season. County Championship starting. I'm guessing you're as eager as ever and looking forward to it, mate.
Yeah, well, it's the first full pre-season I've done in a while, Alex, to be honest with you. And
how was it, mate? How was it? I mean,
it was tough,
I'm just
mate.
thinking to myself, I'm man of your vintage. Surely they were looking after you.
No, I was wrapped a little bit. I was wrapped in cotton wool a little bit. I'll give them that. They looked after me, but still don't really enjoy the fitness testing now at my age, mate, to be brutally honest. But it's been enjoyable. We had a two-week trip to Cape Town, which was thoroughly enjoyable, and got some warm weather training in, so can't moan too much.
2 weeks in Cape Town, by the way.
Oh, that's not bad.
You nearly had me feeling sorry for you there, Moxie, mate.
I know, I shouldn't have let that slip, should I?
Listen, mate, thanks for joining us this morning. All the very, very best to you. Keep enjoying it, mate.
Cheers, lads. Thanks for having me.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
Cheers, lad.
Love Cape Town, mate.
I've never been to South Africa.
Oh, I'm telling you. Cape Town takes a bit of being. See up that area up there, and Bloemfontein.
Did you do the World Cup there?
Yes.
2012.
And do you know what I did? I went all over, mate. A lot of the boys were based like in Joburg or based whatever.
Yeah.
And I like to go,
places you're never going to see again.
I went to Bloemfontein, I went to Cape Town, I went to Durban, I went to Nelspruit, all over the place. I just absolutely...
Favourite place?
Cape Town. I like Durban, by the way, but Cape Town would take a bit of beating.
Yeah.
I mean, just food, weather, people.
It's reasonable in South Africa as well, isn't it?
Yes.
Loads of people say...
Well, I tell you this. I was there about 10 years. It was 16.4 rand to the pound. Right? You could not spend your money, mate. You couldn't spend it. I looked at it. It's 22 or something just now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unbelievable. And I'm paying 147 quid. I don't know if I've told you. I'm paying 147 quid to fill my car up.
Someone,
get it sorted.
Someone did message in, by the way, Ali, and said, hold it, Ali, what do you expect? You're filling up at the airport where it's the most expensive, so you got yourself to blame there. You could have got it done cheaper in central Glasgow.
I know that, but I'll tell you what I will do. See, the first.
No one's feeling sorry for you.
No, but the first petrol station I went to, it didn't have any petrol, it didn't have any diesel. It was closed. So that's how I had to go to the airport, in my defence. 147 quid. Country's gone to the dogs. Don't get me starting. 2-10 World Cup winner of England, Chris Woakes there. Right. As today is the 1st of April, the catches were the poorest one ever earlier on, didn't they? The boys in the sports bar got straight to work as the clock struck midnight. Here's O'Hara and Cundy doing what they do best.
Throwing out the rule book. The Premier League plan on implementing a ban on long throw-ins directly into the opposition's penalty area from next season.
The clubs will have a meeting next week and it goes to a vote, and if there's a majority, it's 14 clubs out of the 20 have to approve this. And early indications are, as is being reported in these stories, that there's a lot of support for this.
Absolute garbage by the Premier League. And O'Hara, you're talking garbage.
I have to say, mate, I agree with it. I agree with it. The product this season, mate, it's been terrible.
Ban throw-ins into the box. That'll save football.
Genuinely, I think it's absolute nonsense. I mean, would you ban penalties?
How do the Premier League have the arrogance to implement a rule where they're not the footballing rule makers?
I'm fuming over that. That's unbelievable. I mean, it's another skill. It really is. And actually,
it's not a skill. Long throw-in's not a skill.
No, it is.
This is an attack on Arsenal. This is an attack on Arteta. Disgusting.
I mean, they're not realists too, are they?
I can't wait to see a picture of Jason, because I've heard about his hair.
You don't want to see it?
I don't want to.
No, listen, I wish him all the best and I hope it's a raging success, but I don't care what anybody says. That looks painful.
Yeah.
It looks painful, mate. It does. I mean, and he put up on Instagram
there was a drone. There's drone footage of it, right? I swear to God, Cass.
Some people will be hoping it's painful.
Oh, aye. Oh, yeah. I just actually hope it grows in, because if it stays the way it is, it just looks as though there's work needing done to it. But he came on and he said, yeah, everything's going well. I'm delighted with it. He said, the scabs are forming. Right? Now, I know, generally speaking, if you get a cut, when scabs form, it generally means it's getting better. But there it is there. Have a butcher's at that. Look.
Oh.
You tell me that does not look painful.
Yeah, it does, yeah. There's a lot of redness there.
Yeah. I just hope he's okay. There he is there. He actually looks well. I think he looks well at that.
Yeah.
You know? What do you think? Yeah.
No.
I'm starting to get one myself, an old penalty spot. What do you think? Yeah, I'm past it.
Yeah.
Old penalty spot.
Baboon's backside.
Oh, I've got a big baboon's backside, mate.
We're all getting it.
Oh, mate, nothing we can do about it. We're going to take a short break. We're nearly...
That Townsend's hairdo.
Oh, I know. Seriously.
Is he ever going to lose any hair?
I think he's dying it into the bargain. I think he's got the just. I think Jam and Jackie's buying him a just for men.
Yeah,
right?
just for men. He did a just for men in America '94. He did.
That's it.
Went blonde. Do you remember him?
What do?
Went blonde.
I did it in 19. When did I do? I did it in 98, man.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
What a blunder. See when those photographs come back to haunt you, mate. Haunt you. We're going to take a short break.
Is Itoma the sort of fighter, Dave, that the likes of Fury, the likes of AJ, you know, that they're in the mid-30s now, they're trying to avoid, and maybe more like a Fabio Wardley and Dubois would be one of the fights that you'll have next?
Yeah, Joshua and Fury won't go near him. He's too young, too fresh, too fast. You know, their best days have gone. So, Itoma, realistically, he's looking at Dubois, Wardley winner. I don't think the Wardley winner. I think if Wardley wins, I don't think he'll box him because they're in the same gym.
Yeah.
Dubois may. But Caballel, you know, Itoma's gonna have to fight one of them guys. He's not gonna get one of the old guard that's on the way out. He's gonna have to box one of the real, you know, main men, which is Caballel. So it's interesting, and then he's gonna be around for another 15 years, hopefully. You know, so there's going to be people we're not even heard of yet that are going to come and have a go at him.
Is that the danger with heavyweights like him, to be so strong and powerful but quick as well?
Yeah, it's the speed. All heavyweights can punch. For me personally, I've never been put over in a fight, never been down and out. That's because I can see him coming. The danger with the time is you don't really see him coming. He's that fast. You know, he throws a lovely right hook off the back of a left hand to the body, and no one sees it coming. That's what Franklin does well. Franklin doesn't get hit properly. That's why he's never been over. All his great chin talk for me is nonsense. There's no.
The talkSPORT 20k giveaway.
Ten minutes to go, mate. Well, I've enjoyed this one. It's been brilliant. talkSPORT Breakfast, Alan Cass with you. Here's this link I've got to read. It takes me about 6 minutes, so we're giving you the chance to win £20,000 completely tax-free here in talkSPORT. That's £20,000 straight into your bank account. Spend it, save it, splash it. It is, of course, entirely up to you. Here's how to enter. For your chance to win, text 1 to 83338. Text costs £2.50 plus your standard network rate. Or give us a call 0343 418 7260. Lines close at 9th of April, and that will be at 4 p.m. That's when, of course, if your phone rings, you'll have to answer. 18 plus, UK residents only. This is a network promotion. Full T's and C's at talksport.com. Once again, for your chance to win £20,000 tax free, text win to 83338. Good luck. Okay, it's now time for this. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I know we had Aldo on and all that stuff, and I certainly the Irish lads, Northern Ireland as well, Wales. Yeah. But I was gutted. I must admit, I can't lie to you. I was gutted. I watched the Wales game, right?
Yeah.
And you know that way I'm watching it, Cass, and you feel there's an inevitability, boys. There's going to be a goal here. You know, I just ended in tears, and I was keeping my eye on the Irish one.
Same as.
Exact same, mate. Eh?
Painful.
I always felt Northern Ireland were up against it. I didn't think they were, not without a chance, but I always felt they were up against it. But I felt particularly, I fancied both Ireland and Wales. It's easy to say, if they'd won their game, I fancied them to get the job done in the final game.
Yeah. Well, we were 2-0 up and cruising. And then obviously Ryan Manning pulls back one of their players and gives a penalty away.
It's a poor decision, wasn't
it? The first goal was a soft penalty we got.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting there thinking, whatever we do, don't do something silly in our 18-yard box because...
Isn't that amazing, mate?
He's going to give a penalty. If that penalty is a penalty, which I didn't think it was.
No, I'm with you, mate. But how many times have we seen it? Is it...
Pulling shirts.
It's wrong, but it might just be a natural human reaction.
Instinct. Yeah.
And it ends up costing you. And the referee, if he's got any doubt at all, he'll attempt to balance it.
Yeah.
He'll attempt to balance it, won't he?
Yeah, and it could have gone 3-1, but it came back to 2. And as the game was wearing on, we obviously got poor in the second half. And they eventually got the breakthrough. And once it got level, I just was thinking, please get the penalties to give us a chance, because I didn't think we'd win it in extra time. So it was a sad conclusion, but you pay a heavy price in these sort of games, don't you?
You do. I'm looking at these last couple of games. See, the difference for me is I don't mean I couldn't care about the friendlies going up to the World Cup, but effectively I actually couldn't care how they go. The main thing for us is getting there, right? And that's all. Now, we just need to put in a better level of performance now that we're there, because we were poor in Germany in Euros, with some poor performances. Our midfield is without doubt the strongest area of our team.
Yeah, McTominay.
McTominay, Billy Gilmer, McGinn, Christie, boys like that. Ferguson plays in Italy. That's without doubt. You throw in Robertson. We've got some good players.
Do you know what you
up the pitch, mate? We're struggling to get a goal.
But your goals are McGinn, McTominay, Christie. Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
They're the 3 players that I see you getting goals. Is there a fourth?
No, really, mate.
Oh, McTominay,
McGinn.
Yeah, they're probably your top goal scorers, aren't they?
And they're all midfield.
Yeah.
Jay Adams will chip in. Big London.
Yeah.
We struggle but we've always struggled for an out-and-out goal. Probably going back to Dennis Law and Kenny and people like that.
Big Joe.
We've never really had, guys that are going to bang and score 10, 15, 20, 30 international goals, because that's hard. But the most important thing is we're there. We're going to go and enjoy it, Cass. It'll be absolutely brilliant.
Tournaments are incredible to go to, Ali.
Cass, that's how I was so pleased for the lads, man, because we hadn't qualified for a World Cup since 1998, mate. And of course you're thrilled for the fans to get there, but you want the players to experience it as well. Because we've had a lot of great players that haven't played in World Cups. You look at Wales, the Irish boys love the players.
Well, I had 2.
Yeah,
I played in 2, and I look back and think how blessed I was. And okay, they didn't go particularly well because one I got injured in, which was America, And in Italy, I lost my place for the first time in the Irish team during the tournament. But I still wouldn't take nothing away. What an incredible experience.
Amazing. I went to 1 and should have gone to 3. There you go.
Yeah.
I should have gone in 86. Fergie hit me a bum steer. And I should have gone in 98. Wee Bruni lost his marbles.
It hasn't left a mark then.
No, I'm over it. I'm completely 100% over it. How's your day looking, mate?
No, okay. I mean, I was surprised to get the call off the bench.
Brilliant.
For 4 in the morning from a scam caller. Sorry, Sim. Called me. And,
Well, I'm glad you made it, mate. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thanks for your time. We've enjoyed it. We hope you have out there. It's been a great listen. We've thoroughly enjoyed taking public time. We've got 9:56. We've got, don't go anywhere. We've got Jim, Simon, and they will be joined by Danny Murphy. Thanks for your company this morning. Take care.
With Mo Salah leaving, a lot of commentators have talked about the fact there's a lack of icons in the Premier League. Obviously, last year we had De Bruyne leave. You've had, over the course of the last few years, you've had Ronaldo back fleetingly. You've had Ibrahimovic here fleetingly. But the big boys don't come to the Premier League, do they? I mean, Haaland is probably the only global icon that is still there. Would that be fair? I mean, Son's not there anymore. De Bruyne's not there anymore. Salah's going. Kane, Ronaldo, Zlatan, all gone. Mbappe, Vinicius, Bellingham, Messi, Neymar. They would rather play elsewhere. Why?